up? It's your boy Errol Spence Jr. and right now you tune into World Combat Sports.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again. You're listening to World Combat Sports. What's good on a Sunday? Everybody went in and got their their freaking testimony. You did your required prayers. You wish for and prayed for your team to win, this weekend if they playing in football. And that's the way it's going to be. I mean, you can just wait and see if your prayers are answered. Shout out to everyone that's about to pull up in the live chat. Support World Combat Sports, man. You know what it is? We only several days out from closing down this 2020, heading into 21, which is huge. You know what I'm saying? It means a lot to try to see what 21 has for all of us, really. So, we know 2020 has been crazy, especially in combat sports. On the back end, I'm going to talk about UFC Fight Night, of course. But on the front end of it, I want to speak on, the situation. I want to kind of give a timeline like I've been doing with this Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford deal. Because, shout out Michael Johnson, what's good? Hey, I wasn't a grunt. I was data guy, but I did roll with the grunt sometime. You know what I'm saying? That's what we did. But I just want to give a timeline for you, the fight fans, just like myself, to try to figure out, what's going on. Because the talk was originally Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, but that seems to have pretty much dissolved in the standing water in the motherfucking sewer system or something. Because whenever the topic comes up, Errol Spence don't choose not to entertain it too much at all. He just shit on it. Now it's all about money. So if you don't remember, right, let's just go back a little bit. If you don't remember when Terrence Crawford defeated Kell Brooks, stopped him in the 4th round. The reason why I'm reflecting upon this is the fact that post-fight, Errol Spence said, he reiterated Bob Arum's words. And Bob Arum was on a tangent. He's an older cat. He was on a tangent about, how much money he's been losing. He's lost on Terrence Crawford and all that other stuff. And it was enough for him to go buy a house in Beverly Hills. Okay, so moving forward, Errol Spence, he has a fight with Danny Garcia. Terrence Crawford shows up like boxers do. Danny Garcia jumped in the ring on Errol Spence. Errol Spence jumped in the ring on Sean Porter. I mean, the rotation. I'm speaking to, look, first of all, I'm speaking to intelligent, literate boxing fans, individuals who totally understand where I'm going. So therefore, Terrence Crawford defeats Danny Garcia, and he acts like he hasn't done anything that Terrence Crawford has. He's shown up the fights, and he's hopped in the ring. And that's when Sean Porter wasn't pretty much entertaining a fight with him and Errol Spence yet. But he still hopped in the ring. Whether he was sober or not, he hopped in the ring, and he wanted to let the people know he wanted to make this fight happen. Now, hypocritically, it brings us full circle as to what's transpired. Okay, post-fight conference, Danny Garcia, he say, I don't know why he was here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why he was here. It's not like Terrence Crawford jumped in the ring or anything, but he said he don't know why he here. He wouldn't go to any of his fights. He should just stick to his word because Terrence said he don't need Errol Spence for his legacy, which I have reiterated several times over. That is absolutely true. He don't need him. What's going on around the street? Streeter, salute to you. How you feel? Appreciate y'all stopping in. Andrew Charles in the building. What's good with y'all? So, Terrence Crawford is sitting there like on his phone talking. He's just enjoying the fight. The camera's going to be on him. He's not worried about the lens, but Errol Spence is making up excuses and all this other stuff about, he don't know why Terrence is here. He should just stick to his word and all this, acting like a prima donna. I know what's going on with Errol Spence. Errol Spence is trying to change his image after the accident. He's trying anything and everything to understand that he has a second chance at life. And with that second chance, Errol Spence is trying to press the motherfucking gas as much as he can. And it doesn't matter if he takes an L or two. He's at a process. He's processing the reality that he needs to kind of, speed things up because he is getting older and he needs to make these big fights. And the first thing he needs to do is basically win over the fans that he lost when he had that accident and gain more fans. The reason why Errol Spence wants to gain more fans is that he can build up his fan base in his hometown, which is thriving right now. Errol Spence did something that I would say commendable. He's bringing people to Dallas. So once we've seen Jerry Jones co-signing, okay, it's up to Errol Spence to make the rest happen. But he had an accident. He had to recover. Now he's back trying to bring everybody to Texas. He's trying to go to Dallas Cowboy Stadium and bring everybody to Texas. All right. So since you're making everything about money, Errol Spence takes to the mic on the zone. And it was cool that he's finally, breaking his shell, so to speak, and doing the same exact thing Terrence Crawford did. He showed up to Canelo's fight, just like Terrence Crawford showed up to his fight. That's exactly the same thing he just did. Why was he there? If people are going to complain about, Terrence Crawford wanting to make this fight, calling Errol Spence out, doing everything a boxer's supposed to do, then they should also complain about what Errol Spence isn't doing. And Errol Spence isn't entertaining the fight fairly, in my opinion, because you're talking about a 3-division champion, and Spence record is not anything to basically jump up and down about, to get excited, to sit up here and post stickies all over your house talking about man down, man down. Right now, my hashtag is man up, because for the simple fact, we're looking at Errol Spence. When asked, he just hurried up and said, yeah, we can make the fight happen, but Bob got to stop telling lies. Why in the hell does that matter? Like, why? We're talking about you and Errol Spence, the same two individuals that met in person, face to face, when Terrence Crawford pulled up and y'all was having a conversation amongst one another, and you made it clear that you was going the Sean Porter route. You made it perfectly clear that Terrence Crawford was not in the equation. So why bring up Bob Arum and talking about he need to stop lying? What does that have to do with what you said after that? Terrence Crawford, wherever it's 60-40 or 70-30, whatever we give him. So now you being extremely petty. You being extremely fucking petty. You just basically up here saying, you know what? I'm gonna make this shit as uncomfortable as for Terrence Crawford as possible. I'm going to get him frustrated. And now people are questioning, what's your motives? You're trying to act like you want the big fight with Canelo Alvarez right now, 2 weight classes up. It's funny how people were criticizing Gary Russell for doing that shit at 135, right? And then Mikey Garcia goes up 2 weight divisions. And the first person to entertain that shit is Errol Spence. And it was a one-sided affair. Now you have the Charlo brothers. The Charlo brothers. Jermell Charlo at 154, Maul Charlo at 160. He's bypassing both of them from a lower division and basically advocating for a fight with the pound-for-pound best in Canelo Alvarez. He's pretty much diluting any interest from the fight fans in him and Terrence Crawford, which I think is a big mistake. Because his ultimate goal, people, is to unify the welterweight division. That's his ultimate goal right here. That's the ultimate goal. Does anybody else know what's going on with Errol Spence? Why all of a sudden he wants to come off as if Terrence Crawford isn't someone that he needs in his career. He needs Terrence Crawford. But what he's trying to do is, okay, maybe I can fast track this motherfucker. Let me go up here and get a fight with Canelo Alvarez, which is gonna give him a check. So I'm thinking in his mind, with his record, Errol Spence is looking at it like, if I do take a loss against Canelo Alvarez, I can say I did step up and try to fight him. You know, Spence being 27-0, 21 knockouts, Canelo 54 wins. You know, he just defeated Callum Smith, which is something that's a moot point to me. 54-1, 2 draws, 36 knockouts. When asked about that, Errol Spence says it's going to be an all-out war between him and Canelo Alvarez. This shit is going to be an all-out war, y'all. And I'm saying to myself, like, it has the potential to be something. It does have the potential to be something. I don't know if it's going to be an all-out war or not, but it has the potential on paper to be entertaining. But I would respect it more for Errol Spence, man, that he just focus on what's there for him. You know, if you say you're going to give us a welterweight, why keep on allowing a fighter, you and a fighter, you're not that much younger, you and a fighter to grow older and basically dilute this shit in the media, deter fans, instead of having them gravitate to the damn matchup. Every time you in the media, I could say it's more than 7, I say about 7 or 8 occasions now where Errol Spence dealing with Terrence Crawford name, he has devalued any type of future bout between these two, like it's important. Every time he talks about it, he basically treats it as if it's lower than who he is as a fighter. Okay, so Errol Spence wants to say this. He said, okay, I'm a big dog at 147, but you have much more in your career left than 147. So if you're saying you're the big dog at 147, right? Why haven't anybody else put you above Terrence Crawford on the pound for pound list? What's going on, Grogan? Big up comeback for speaking the truth. EJ will end up like Mikey against him. See, Grogan saying some real shit. Rana Street and Dr. K Streeter sisters. Canelo is the moneymaker. And if he's defeated, he would still look great, just like Mayweather. Defeating Canelo made his cash flow better. Yeah, Canelo was early in his career too, a little bit. You know, he was still, you know, Canelo wasn't established as such as Errol Spence right now when he faced Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't. And I understand where you're going with that, Render. But when it comes down to using that comparison, it's a bit unbalanced. It is. It's a little bit unbalanced. But at this point in time, with where um Errol Spence is in his career, and for him to go up there and take a loss, when in fact he's trying to unify the welterweight division, he's making it seem like it's tough for him to make 147 now. So if it's tough for you to make 147, but yet contradicting that statement, you say you're going to have 2 to 3 fights. You're going to have 2 to 3 fights next year. But yet, in another article, you said it's getting hard for you to make 147. And a lot of people are going to say, oh, he's been saying that. Now he's underscoring that shit now. Now he's saying it remediate over and over again. You know why he's saying it's getting hard? Because he wants people to start leaning toward him and Canelo Alvarez. And of course, it's going to be a big fight. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you anything different. Canelo Alvarez, Errol Spence will be a big fight for whoever chooses to watch it. We're going to tune in, of course. We're going to tune in. But if you're going to say you're basically outgrowing the 147-pound division, you shouldn't have never placed those expectations out there as if you wanted to unify. Or recently you said on Boxing Scene that you was on the verge of cleaning out the welterweight division. So are you on the verge of cleaning out the welterweight division? Or you just all about making excuses as to why you should leave and do other things outside of the welterweight division? Is your main intent right now is to emulate what Canelo Alvarez is doing, moving up in divisions, moving up 2 divisions, doing what the fuck you want to do, not really giving boxing fans what they want? That's what it seems with Errol Spence to me. Like now, it's done got personal. I thought at one point in time when Crawford was online and you and him was going back and forth, you told him the fight can't be made online, right? That was Errol Spence's words. The fight cannot be made online through social media. And then, Crawford came back and said, okay, we talked, everything good. And now that's all freaking, that's exactly what Errol Spence is doing. He's tearing down the fight. And he's basically saying he's almost exhausted at 147. It's time for me to move up and try to face Canelo Alvarez because it's going to be an all-out war. Of course, Canelo name on there. But I truly believe Errol Spence is trying to edge himself past Terrence Crawford by going up to fight Canelo Alvarez and take a L. Because he would have, just like Randa said, and a lot of other people would know, it would be good to have Canelo on your record. But at this point in Errol Spence's career, taking the L versus Canelo, what does it do for him? What did Mikey Garcia? What did it do for Mikey Garcia? Give him Jesse Vargas? It did absolutely zero for Mikey Garcia moving up, trying to fight Errol Spence, except a motherfucking payday. That's what it did. It gave him a payday. It gave him a payday. So much to the fact that his next opponent was Jesse Vargas. So where we at right now, if Errol Spence is trying to talk up Canelo Alvarez, what does that leave Manny Pacquiao? Somebody at top rank, Bob Arum, whoever, they really need to try to make that fight with Manny Pacquiao. So at least Terrence Crawford can get another belt and we can stop the money talk and the negotiation and leverage and all that shit. Because 2 plus 2, in this particular case, split it down the middle, it holds heavier. You know what I'm saying? The buoyancy when it comes to negotiations is a lot more solid if Terrence Crawford has another belt. Now, the language that we hear from Errol Spence is he want to make it all about the percentage and the money. We really don't know who he's going to face next in 21. He's not really giving Pacquiao any type of, freaking shine. Because I believe Spence Spence know that he can get a fight with Pacquiao. So I don't hear the fight fans up here. No, fight Pacquiao. That's gonna be good money. Now the wave is gonna switch over. Oh man, Spence fight Canelo Alvarez. And then, when I was up here saying some shit like that, people was like, no, it's not healthy. It's not healthy for him to go up there and fight Canelo Alvarez and move back down to welterweight. Errol Spence never said that he was either basically going to clean up the 147 division and move up and fight Canelo. He's making it seem like his itinerary, he already trying to damn lock in that first class ticket over there to face Canelo Alvarez in 21. He's not really giving any interest to Manny Pacquiao, who has political duties right now. But Manny Pacquiao, he needs to hurry up and make up his goddamn mind. And somebody over top rank should make this fight. If Terrence Crawford contract expires October 21, then we need to make this fight between Manny Pacquiao and Bud Crawford. And Errol Spence need to go up to 160, do what the fuck he's doing. He takes an L, come back down. Let's make the damn Bud Crawford fight. And also, we need to take in consideration of how Errol Spence lose. And I know I'm getting a lot of my people, man, why are you hating on Spence, man? How am I hating on Spence? I'm not hating. I'm just expressing how I feel on the two parties involved, which we want to see. Terrence Bud Crawford, Errol Spence. I'm not hating on nobody. Don't call it keeping it real in one side of it and then hating on the other. I'm just giving you everything that Errol Spence has said up to now. And he feels like every time he speaks, more people are going to tune in. Now his primary focus is to go at the 164 money fight. Quick. He was just up here excoriating freaking Terrence Crawford for showing up at his fight, which Terrence Crawford, he sat down in the chair chilling like Bud do. But then Errol Spence is everywhere, doing interviews in front of the camera, keeping the interest live with Errol Spence, trying to gain more fans since the accident, letting people know that he's competent enough for them to follow, and he's going to make this tremendous run in boxing on the back end of his career. And he's trying to convince people that run is going to be Canelo Alvarez. Now, his objective is to get people to believe that he can go up to 160 and defeat Canelo Alvarez. Is it possible for Errol Spence? I want to hear all these narratives just because Errol Spence has had problem making weight. Look, it's a lot of fighters that walk around above their weight class. That doesn't mean they can compete. That doesn't mean someone can compete at a higher weight class if they haven't had a fight there. It don't matter who you have sparred, but can you compete against the best at a higher division if you never stepped in the ring with a true 160 pounder? And then let's look at it this way too, there, people. Look at it this way, right? What restrictions are they going to have? Because Canelo's going to be the A side, right? There's no way Spence is going to be the A side. So just what Spence is doing to Terrence Crawford or attempting to verbalize, he's going to have to take that same back step when it comes to Canelo, who is known to putting restrictions on fighters. Now, you think Errol Spence is going to perform like he does at 147, at 160? Let's just say Canelo Alvarez say, you know what? No rematch clause, okay? I mean, not no rematch clause, no rehydration clause. Fuck it. I'm going to take this fight, rehydrate to wherever you feel like. So we're talking about Canelo Alvarez has fought at 75, right? Just fought at 68. Canelo goes in there and does what Canelo do. No rehydration clause. We good. And then he's going to be the A side. So, Errol Spence is going to have to take what he takes, wherever that may be. What will that be? What is the price point of Errol Spence heading in there with Canelo Alvarez? What's gonna be his price point? 70-30? I mean, because we're talking about a single division champion, two-time world champion, and he's trying to go up to 60 and challenge the best pound for pound, which in my heart of hearts, and when it comes to combat sports, I don't knock Errol Spence for taking the risk to go up there, because that requires heart. I love combat sports and people doing stuff that requires them to jump outside and go through levels that they never experienced. That means testing themselves past a limit of what they consider failure, right? So in this case with Errol Spence, do you believe it's a good idea for Errol Spence to jump up 2 weight classes when he still has homework to complete at the welterweight division? I just want to hear what y'all have to say on that. TJ Sports say that would be a hell of a fight, 50-50. I'm not sure what that is. Let me go back up. Are you talking about Canelo Alvarez and Spence? Canelo didn't have obligations in his division like Errol does. That's a true point right there. Randa said huge fight, Canelo versus Spence. It's a huge fight when you're talking about names but I don't think it's a huge fight when it comes to competitiveness from who Canelo Alvarez has fought vice who Errol Spence has fought. We have to go into this knowing that Canelo Alvarez has stepped up to a higher tier of competition in different weight classes than Errol Spence. Now, if Errol Spence wants to be goofy about it and feel that, okay, coming off an accident and the Mikey Garcia fight, you know what I'm saying? That was his recovery fight. And he went in there and did what he did. I'm pretty sure he's smarter than that because it was a lopsided fight with Mikey Garcia, but no one's jumping up and down and saying he did something that was unbelievable. Mikey Garcia is good enough to lose. TJ said, what's the problem with Spence getting big fights? If this was Bud, nobody would care. Bud has said numerous times he wanted Pac before Spence. So why is Spence being drugged in the mud? Spence is nowhere being drugged in the mud. You have to understand where we at with this, TJ. It's okay to basically attach mud to it when it's a strict opinion. All right. It seems like you're dragging somebody in the mud, but all it is a strict opinion. Dragging him in the mud is basically questioning his sanity coming off the accident. Dragging Errol Spence to the mud is basically saying he's making the worst mistake in his boxing career. And he must not have a good team around him. And he's going to go up there and lose and get knocked out. And he's never going to be the same in boxing. That's dragging him to the mud. That's dragging him to the mud. You know what I'm saying? You haven't heard World Combat Sports come because that's not what I'm do. That's not what I do. I'm telling you off what Spence has placed as public record and his line of excuses over and over again leading up to now. He just have a line of excuses. I don't want his opponents. I don't want to what he said in public record. So unless I'm creating a narrative will more so blend in or mesh together with putting him or drugging him in the mud or dragging him in the mud. I'm not dragging him in the mud. I'm calling for what I see it. It's called an opinion. An opinion is not based off facts. Sometimes people say and voice their opinions and put facts on the end of it. It is not. Tone Brown in the building. What's good? D Hodges. What's good? We've seen this movie too many times before. Yeah. And right in this era, we have a lot of people trying to follow the actors, the leading actor back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather set a template that is hard for people to fit into. Very hard. Sir Ken in the building. Salute, man. World Combat Sports. Salute to the wrenches and salute to the chat. Smash the like button. Tone said before Spence moves up to 60 to fight Canelo, he has to fight Bud Crawford. I totally agree, man. Major Key in the building, man. TJ said, I feel you, no harm. No, man. Hey, check this out, TJ. You can have a difference of opinion. You're a grown ass man. I don't know. Everybody in here should be agreeing with what I'm saying. I just want you to come back with some boxing, something related to boxing, not personal, boxing related to what my talking points are. That's the way it's supposed to be. You don't have to agree with all this shit. You can support who you want to. But what I'm saying right now, when it comes down to Errol Spence, just like it was said up top by Tone, Spence moves up to 160 to fight Canelo, has to fight Bud Crawford. What's wrong with us saying that Spence has not completed or not done enough at welterweight division? Spence has been campaigning in the welterweight division longer than Terrence Crawford. But yet, when people talk about these two fighters, all they do is, and Spence has a better record than Terrence Crawford. He's supposed to. He's been there longer. He's been there longer. I have regurgitated this on previous lives before. He's been campaigning at the same division longer than Terrence Crawford. So, of course, he should have had a better resume. He should have been champion already if he was daring to be great. When you look at other fighters that only have 14, 15 fights, 16 fights, and they already have a belt, then you say, hey, what's the holdup? You know, he finally gets a shot at Kell Brook, gets it done, and then finally get a damn title shot against Sean Porter instead of facing Terrence Bud Crawford. So right now, I'm kind of curious as to know, why are you outside of sticking to what you're saying about unifying the entire welterweight division? Why can't people understand he needs to be held accountable for his own words? These are his own fucking words, y'all. He just mentioned, I'm on the verge of cleaning out the welterweight division. You're just putting sound bites out there. You're just talking just to be talking. How are you on the verge? And you're trying to basically say, I want to prep the audience that I'm challenging. And Eddie Hearns and everybody who paid for Errol Spence to show up over there at the Zone, whoever it was. Now they're trying to prep the visual from the fight fans to say, let's start talking about Errol Spence and Canelo Alvarez. Let's make some money. Let's do it. What? We supposed to believe that Canelo Alvarez is going to fight in the Cowboy Stadium just like Spence said? With 100,000? That's what we believe. Can it happen? I'm not saying it can't happen, but that's what we believe. It's going to be in Spence's backyard. In order for you to get Canelo Alvarez to come in Spence's backyard, somebody's going to get paid a hell of a lot of money. And I know where this is going. It's going to be on PPV, of course. But the network, Canelo can make his own moves. So it may potentially happen. It may happen. It's all about the live gate capacity. It's all about a lot of other variables that's going to play into effect coming off 2020, bleeding over into 21. But my point is to Errol is, what the fuck are you going to do, bro? Like, if you saying you outgrowing 147, just vacate the motherfuckers. Get off the titles and go play elsewhere. Go 54, 57, 60. And then for those of you who's going to turn around and say, well, he's doing the same thing that Canelo Alvarez is doing. You are right. But this is where I'm going with it. You really didn't hear Canelo Alvarez saying, I'm just outgrowing 60. Don't put the motherfucking petty motherfucking ruler up there and say, hey, you know what? I'm just outgrowing the division. If you outgrowing the division, that means you have little interest in retaining your boxing career at that weight. You should start to think about 54 and 60. Don't keep us on the edge and say, well, guess what? I'm on the verge of cleaning out the 147-pound division. When? So let's paint this picture, y'all. Let's paint this picture. So you're gonna do what Canelo is doing at 160? That's what you're gonna do? You basically trying to do that. You're trying to say, I'm gonna go play around in higher divisions, and then when I feel like it, I'm gonna come back down to the welterweight division. If by chance I'm able to maintain my record, and a lot of you saying, oh, he can take 1 or 2 losses, it's still good. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the volume of intrigue of him heading in there against Terrence Crawford, with both of them having O's on their record, undefeated. It's not going to be the same suspense. You know what I'm saying? With people, the anxiousness, the anxiety. Like, damn, this is a 50-50 fight right here. I just don't know. Neither fighter has lost. Let's go. But then if you take him moving up Canelo Alvarez and loses, and what if he get knocked out? Then it really fucks up a super fight, so to speak, between him and Crawford. Because heading into this fight, Spence and Crawford, like I said, the O's are on the line. The titles are on the line. Both the undisputed crowns is there for one fighter to become undisputed. Why prolong it? Why sit up here and fragment it when you're speaking to the damn fans? Why place a cloud over it? And everything out your mouth about you and Crawford now is negative. Everything out Errol Spence's mouth now is negative when it comes to him and Crawford. He's like, whatever we give him. Anybody who know and followed me, you know, I pretty much don't get in the pockets and money aspect of it. But this is not the same in this sense. Because when I say money, I'm talking about how much a fighter should be making comparable to, you know, when people talk about a fighter they love and they rock with, they'll say, oh, so-and-so's made more than this and they are a millionaire and all, but they're really not factoring in taxes and what they actually take home when they saying that they're touching M's and shit and all that. In this case, with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, why can't the fight be a 50-50 fight? Like I asked you before, what is the criteria? Because we can't sit up here and continue to boost up Canelo Alvarez and being a multi-division champion every time he moves up. And he's going to be the A side because he's top pound for pound. But then Terrence Crawford is top pound for pound too. He's a multi-division champion. But you all relegate him to a single fucking division with a single fucking title. Isn't that not what Canelo Alvarez did? Isn't the first time he moved up to 68, he fought for the WBA regular and he just picked up the WBA super? Isn't that the same thing he did? And motherfuckers praising him for going in there on a lopsided fight. I don't care about no tricep. I'm talking about that shit was super duper boring. He's had 2 fights at 68 that didn't wow anyone. So y'all can praise Canelo Alvarez for moving up. And he's a multi-division champion. He's top pound for pound, but so is Crawford. Crawford's top pound for pound. So when Errol Spence talked this nonsense, this bullshit, and acting like Terrence Crawford, who is pound for pound ahead of him, look, Errol Spence is not even touching shoulders with Terrence Crawford on the pound for pound list. That's the crazy part, the delusional part of when he speaks to the media. They're not even brushing shoulders. Alexander Usyk is in front of Errol Spence. He's not even a placeholder right behind Terrence Crawford. He has a body to pass, and then before he was basically close enough to smell the pound for pound position that Terrence Crawford holds. I know it's individuals out there that understand what I'm talking about when it comes to this. I don't care if you Errol Spence fans, But Crawford fans, I don't care really about that. You have to look at what is the entire optic on what Errol Spence is trying to do when it comes to the best fighting the best. What is your optic telling you about this fight? If you're saying you on the verge of cleaning out the welterweight division, but then again he turn around and say some dumb shit like, "Oh, I'm outgrowing the welterweight division." So which one is it going to be? Because if you're not going to stay here at the welterweight division, you need to vacate and move on. But if you are, you need to stop talking like, "Oh, I'm trying to emulate what freaking Canelo Alvarez is doing by moving up to 160." This guy's playing. He's playing tongue tennis in the media, as we call it. Serious. That's all he's doing is playing tongue tennis. He's saying shit over here, and then he's saying shit over there. Somebody should goddamn make sure he have a PR with him, because he's saying that, he on the verge of cleaning out, and then on the other hand, "Oh, I'm about to outgrow. I've outgrown the welterweight division." So in between that bullshit you talking, what is going to be your decision, Errol Spence? Are you going to stay at the welterweight division, or are you going to try to go up here and emulate what Canelo Alvarez is doing? Because those fight fans that's out there that I know who is competent enough to understand where I'm coming from, you should hold him accountable on his media shit for talking in motherfucking circles and contradicting himself. Al Tariq in the building, man. I'm getting to some of the comments over here on Facebook. TJ said the business of boxing wants the fight to completely put boxing back on notice. This fight, in my opinion, would do that. Bud won't. All right. What's going on, Al Tariq? King Mitch, I'm going to get back to you, TJ. King said Spence versus Canelo isn't happening anytime soon. I'm not tripping on Spence getting an early start on Canelo talk. I think the Crawford fight would happen before Canelo fight, though. What's going on, Mark Nash in the building? Syndicate, what's good? Why would Spence risk everything to a known drug cheat? Hey, good point. Why would he? Why would he, man? Why would he do that? So, some very solid points right there. And for TJ to talk about the business, he said the business wants this fight to completely put boxing back on notice. I'm not sure, like, from what we watched with Vasily Lomachenko, who's the second pound for pound, and Teofimo Lopez, that did over 4 million views. That didn't put boxing back on notice. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, that didn't put boxing on notice. That was just earlier this year, February 22nd. Now, that didn't put boxing on notice. I mean, what are we waiting on to put boxing on notice, so to speak? Errol Spence just fought Danny Garcia in the one side of the fair. Did that not put boxing on notice? He's coming off a fight with Sean Porter last year. That was a highlight. There's several fights that's been out here that provided a brighter halo. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them shine the same, but it was enough out there. This fight with Canelo Alvarez and Errol Spence. Why wasn't y'all saying that about Danny Garcia facing Errol Spence? It's going to put boxing back on notice. Boxing will always be on the job. It's an annual sport. I'm saying, I know it's still, the cylinders are still trying to fire up, to get people back on this live gate. We still have a lot of boxing footprints to still close down. So you're not going to be able to put boxing back on notice just out of Texas. You're not going to be able to do that. First and foremost, we got to understand crowd numbers and the location is huge. NYC, come on, Barclays, Madison Square Garden, this shit is still done. We just had a Triller event with Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. That was at the Staples Center. No crowd. Because California playing by their own rules. And they're not in a hurry to open this shit back up. So in 21, unless we go back to damn near full capacity, because Spence was up there saying, 100,000 in Dallas Cowboy Stadium. In order for you to have that, a lot of shit has to be passed for people. And then you have to have the confidence of the public to be able to walk through those doors, knowing that COVID hasn't really went anywhere, to sit their ass in a seat and watch a fight with that many people in the building. There's a lot more to go on besides making the decision to say, well, it's all about Canelo and Spence. No, it's all about what the promoters say, what the governor's saying, what the city is saying, everything. You have to combine all that together to see if this fight is going to generate maximum capacity when it comes down to it. Livegate, PPV, everything for Spence and Canelo to maximize their profits. But my main point in all of this is to hold Spence accountable. His name is not being deteriorated in the media if it's public record. If I take sound bites off what he said in the media and I give my opinion to him, that's not dragging, or that's not basically defaming. That's basically saying, this is the way I feel about that. Just like King Mitch said. Let me go back up to his comment. He say Spence and Canelo isn't happening anytime soon. I'm not tripping on Spence getting an early start. See, I never even said anything about Spence getting an early start, but I can see where he's coming from, because when it comes down to it, people are making a big deal about fighters self-promoting themselves. So I totally understand where they're going with it. Like, to get a head start on promoting yourselves. But my issue with it is, if you put anything out there too early and it dissolves, what other fight or what other venue you're going to be able to show up at with all these people watching? Because it just can't be any fight. You know what I'm saying? It can't be any fight where Errol Spence shows up to. It had to be the right fight. And the right fight was Canelo and Callum Smith. You just can't keep talking about a fight between Canelo and Spence at any fight, because the audience is not going to be there. But we, as hardcore boxing fans, understand that a lot of people is going to be tuned in to Canelo, Callum Smith. The motherfucking, you saw the pictures out there. Callum Smith looked like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and goddamn Canelo looked like Spud Webb. But then when it comes to timber sports, those of you like myself that watches it, Canelo was chopping that motherfucker down. So therefore, the fight ended up being a lopsided contest. But my point is, I have no problem with someone promoting. But if we're unsure on what fight is coming next, my only conclusion is, if you're planning on promoting, you stepping up to fight Canelo now, that's your next plan. Because he's putting it out. You can't put it out there at the end of 20 and you ain't fighting Canelo until 21 because you're trying to go over here and fight Pacquiao and Terrence, or Pacquiao and then fight Canelo at the end of 21. You got to keep that fire burning. Because you can talk all day, Errol, but when it comes down to you're not letting the fans know when this fight's going to happen. You hear fighters say all the time, big news coming, big news coming. And then all of a sudden, boom, it comes out. Alvarez faces Spence. March, April 21. Now we have an understanding this is going to be our talking point when it comes to media, and we have something to go off of. The fight is actually going down. But when you get on here and say you're on the verge of cleaning out 47, but yet I'm outgrowing 47. I walk around heavier than this weight class. So we're like raising eyebrows and shit. Like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? Either you're going to be in the welterweight division or you're not. Either you outgrowing the division or you about to clean the motherfucker out. Which ticket are we looking at? You going to clean this motherfucker out? If so, when are you going to fight? Who's going to have the fights coming up? Because Manny Pacquiao just sitting out there, and he's like the middle one in the pendulum. He's like the middle ball in the pendulum, and Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford just tagging him from both sides. Boom, boom, boom. I'm just waiting for somebody to say they fight Manny Pacquiao, because no one can be undisputed without the WBA and the WBO belt. And the only fighter who has made this declaration is who, people? Errol Spence. So that's why I'm holding him accountable like I am, because he's made the declaration. He's saying he was going to become undisputed. Terrence Crawford didn't say that. Terrence Crawford said, I whoop Errol Spence's ass. I beat Errol Spence's ass. That's who I want. I want to fight the best. He's made it known when he was moving up from 140. Mitch says Spence did say he's sucking down because he wants to become undisputed. He needs to make up his mind. If he's gonna, if he's gonna deplete weight and go through the woes of depleting himself, then if you're gonna go through that and you're gonna continue to do it, to be undisputed, is two champions out there. So the older you get, the harder it is you're gonna be able to lose weight. We know that. That's simple shit right there. The older you get, the harder it is to continue to lose weight, unless you Rigondeaux. God damn it, Rigondeaux, he's 42 right now, 41, 42. Rigondeaux just dropped down to bantamweight, god damn it. 118. Hey man, everybody's age is different, but when you're an average size human being, it gets difficult for you to drop fucking weight. Jade in the building, what's good? Canelo and Spence had similar performances in their latest fights. Nothing special, but got it done. To me, Callum fought scared. He was in those middle rounds looking at the clock. Some of those guys want Canelo for the pay only. Well, we know Callum Smith had an injury with his arm. I believe it was his right tricep or something like that. So, Eddie Hearn came out and said that he injured his arm in the second or third round. So if that was indeed the case, the man stayed in there to the final bell, man. Kudos to Callum Smith for sucking it up. But it was still a one-sided affair, to be honest with you. Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones put boxing on notice. Yeah, man, like, come on, dog. Like, come on, there was two legends in there, man, and never had the chance of fighting their prime. And they did damn good. It didn't look like no soft ass exhibition. They was actually throwing punches. Shit, they was actually getting it in. There isn't one fight that can put boxing on notice. Boxing just needs to be consistent with good fighters fighting one another. I agree with that. I agree. You need these guys to fight in every division. It's people who need to fight that's being prolonged. Good solid points, man. Good solid points, y'all. Boxing is gaining momentum. All major fighters are healthy and bunch of young talent making names of themselves. At WCS, we don't disagree. I want the Bud fight too. but I understand politics will always come into play. Okay, I didn't hear he had an injury. Yeah, he did. He had an injury. Canelo was aiming for that left arm he mentioned. Yeah, working on it in camp. And, and Canelo even, I guess, smirked a little bit during the fight that, that he knew what he was doing. Hey, if that was the truth or not, I don't know. I mean, come on, like now we boxing to injure arms. I can't say it's full of shit because people dig to the body to break ribs. Motherfucker, the goddamn give you that kidney attention that you're looking for. I mean, boxing is a hurt business. You can't get mad at him going for an arm when actually in boxing you use your arms, you know what I'm saying, which have hands attached to them to fight. So with that said, you talking about eyes, jaws, lips, chins, ears, head, all that shit is exposed to punishment. All of it, man. All of it. When I put the link down in the case, any one of you all want to give your opinion on what's popping on this live and me talking about Errol Spence. And you're probably looking at it like, damn, you've been talking about Errol Spence. Because listen, the reason why I'm talking about Errol Spence consistently is the fact that I'm taking what he's doing in the media and I'm looking at what boxing truly wants to see. So are you sitting up here teasing us, or are you really going to give us this fight? Because really, you're playing with grown adults, grown people right here. And boxing fans, man, we're freaking salivating to stay consistent in the sport. Like, we want that calendar. Boxing fans want that motherfucking calendar. What do we have lined up? Okay, we got this fight. We like that. We're looking for some fires. You know what I'm saying? We look for them burning fires of matchups right here. It's gonna be smoking. So we say, okay, I got that one to look forward to. I got that one, and that one. But right now, we're in the dark. We ain't trying to wait on no Dillian White faces motherfucking King Kong Ortiz, even though I'll watch it though, or Andy Ruiz or Deontay Wilder, because we really don't know if that fight is going to happen. You feel me? Like, we're waiting on a calendar that can stabilize the anxiety of it all. Who's going to fight who in 21? Who's going to fight who? And man, it's unfortunate we've been waiting on this Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight forever in a fucking day, man. We've been waiting for this fight. And now Spence is talking farther and farther apart. So all I'm asking is for somebody on Spence's team is to get with him and go over his talking points in the media. Because he said he on the verge of cleaning the motherfucker out. It's not like you're gonna send the motherfucking another boxer over to the welterweight division while you at 60. Say, you know what, go ahead, take this fight for me right quick. And he gets the belt. Life don't work that way. You ain't sending the motherfucking clone down there. Hey, yeah. Make sure you work on this, and this. Yep. He'll switch it. So work on both southpaw, orthodox. Yeah. And make that fight happen. You ain't sending the motherfucking clone down there to sign a contract to face Crawford. It's going to be you. We're not going to have a clone of Errol Spence facing Terrence Crawford on the same night he facing Canelo Alvarez. Ladies and gentlemen, the first in boxing, we have in the welterweight division, the one and only Errol Spence 2.0 facing undefeated Terrence Bud Crawford. And also, ladies and gentlemen, we have Errol Spence Jr. facing Canelo Alvarez. Yes, ladies, Errol is in two places. Well, not really. His clone 2.0 is over here in the welterweight division, and Errol is facing Canelo Alvarez over here on this end. Yes, We said boxing was changing, and it has. The laboratory has worked good in our favor, and now we get to see a clone of the first fighter ever to do it, Errol Spence Jr., and 2 divisions on the same night. Let's get. Oh my God. I just got to have some fun. You got to have fun with this shit, because motherfuckers be in the media and they think because they wear a heavy ass chain, motherfuckers are not goddamn paying attention to what's coming out their mouth. It's not making sense, man. This dude is not making sense. All people is doing is saying it's boxing business, business is good for boxing. Yes, you have to make a living for your family, but also we want, as fans, to understand what the fuck are you doing? What is your itinerary? What direction are you headed? Right now, it just seems like you're driving all over the road. We have 2 champions out here remaining. At least I can imagine. I can say, damn, I wish it was like 140 right now. I wish Terrence Crawford had 2 belts. I wish Errol Spence had 2 belts. I wish. Because this right here in the welterweight division, you would get a true, solid, no interruptions, authenticated, undisputed champion with no motherfucking franchise belt. Nothing. You're getting all the damn super titles the way it's supposed to be. No distortion. We getting everything that we know as boxing fans that we grew up off of in boxing. We getting all the belts on the line. It will not be any type of controversy like the 135-pound division. That's what's so special about this fight. That's why we want to see it, because it really haven't been contaminated by the franchise title yet. So we want to keep that on the outside, but goddamn it, don't be surprised if Mauricio Suleiman come in here and start damn sprinkling titles on this motherfucker like they seasoning that motherfucker welterweight division. All of a sudden, welterweight franchise title. I said a long time ago, I said, if they really want to fuck up boxing, look on my live. If they really want to fuck up boxing, give Errol Spence a franchise title. If they really want to fuck up boxing right now and get fans upset and angry, give Errol Spence a franchise belt at welterweight. People will be, I'm talking about fight fans, will be extremely upset. You talking about belligerency? Motherfuckers saying fuck boxing? Give Errol Spence a franchise belt when he's trying to do what he's doing and he's trying to emulate Canelo Alvarez. Let Mauricio Suleiman come out and give Errol Spence a franchise belt at the welterweight division. And see what happens. Because it'll fuck up boxing. That means Danny Garcia, Sean Porter come back around, pick up the WBC. You know what I'm saying? Could you paint that picture? I said this a long time ago. If you really want, like, because everybody wants to see an undisputed champion because of all the genuine, the authentic belts are there. You know what I'm saying? The core belts are there without being contaminated by the franchise title. But if Errol Spence is just out here talking shit, even with him talking shit, people still hopeful because all the belts are still there. The franchise belt hasn't came in and convoluted shit yet. But I'm hoping that it doesn't happen. But I believe it's only a matter of time because I look at Mauricio Suleiman. He's going to make it an opportune time to drop in. He has to make a grand appearance to make shit happen. I hope it doesn't happen to the welterweight division before we actually see an undisputed. Because for what Mauricio Suleiman said is that in the future, it's going to be a franchise belt in every division. But in the future can be tomorrow. Anything outside of the present day is the future. So he can come up here with a franchise belt for the rest of the division. It just fucks up boxing. So people need to prepare themselves for that. Seriously, people need to prepare themselves for that. That shit may happen. But sticking back to what the talking point is, I want to stick to what the talking point is. If you're going to sit up here and highlight Canelo Alvarez for doing that shit, you can't sit up here and diminish Bud Crawford as a 3-division and has an undisputed, something that Canelo Alvarez has not done. So we really need to get off the Bud bash wagon and say he haven't did shit. His resume suck at welterweight division. Who gives a fuck what his resume look like at welterweight division? What does his career look like? Does he? Has he? Did he become undisputed? Yes, he did. Has Errol Spence did it? No, he hasn't. Is he talking about it? Yeah. Is he on a course to make it happen? We don't fucking know. We don't fucking know. That's what we're trying to find out. Is he on a course to satisfy his fans to fight the fight that everybody wants to see, and that's Terrence Crawford? Say the name over and over again. You have made it perfectly clear you wanted to face Sean Porter. Why not take the easier route? Why are we not hearing the Duck Masters Coalition? I hear that for everybody else, but when it comes to specific fighters that certain channels want to push that support Errol Spence, they would sit up here and leave that shit out. And then they'll come up with something that's a lot greater to justify why Errol Spence is doing what he's doing. They'll sit up here and make it seem like it's acceptable. But that's motherfucking ducking. If you're not facing the best in your division and you coming up and saying, oh, I want to face Canelo Alvarez, and I get around to it, isn't that considered ducking though? I wouldn't dare say he's scared to face Bud Crawford. But why sit up here and say 70-30, whatever we want to give you? Why say you want to face Sean Porter? He's the easier route. Why wouldn't I face Sean Porter? He's easy. So now you're basically saying, you confirming that Sean Porter is the easier fight than Bud Crawford. Okay, got it. What's next? Manny Pacquiao is not going to be an easier opponent. What the hell is this referee moving the ball forward? This motherfucker must have got paid off. He's moving the... What's the guy? Okay, anyway, back to what I was saying. Man, these dirty birds, man, they always giving up games, man. Shit. It's almost like looking at them players, almost like Errol Spence unifying the welterweight division. The shit ain't gonna happen, goddammit. Shouts to the Zone for interviewing Spence and giving him airtime. Shouts to Mannix for asking about Crawford, because we all want to see that. I agree, man. Look, shout out to Mannix for asking about Crawford, because he put Crawford Spence at the forefront. I appreciate that in media. He put Crawford Spence at the forefront. But of course, you got the prima donna in Errol, man up Spence. He sit up there and say, yeah, it could. But, Bob Arum should stop lying. Bob Arum should stop lying. And, I want to talk about Canelo Alvarez, stepping up and fighting Canelo at 160. I just thought that was full of shit, man. Like, it was good that they gave him airtime, but then you turn around, it's like, damn. Why keep us in limbo? It's almost like when Big Perm was driving up and Smokey owed him money, right? He said, "You playing with my emotions." Why continue to play with the audience, though? No Espanol, bro. Pac-Man is welterweight franchise champ. Yeah, you can say that, man. You know, he's boxing franchise champ. You know what I'm saying? That's Pacquiao. But all of a sudden, when people was talking about Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, he gets that shit out the way, and we really don't know when Pacquiao's coming into the equation. He's just holding the belt. If he ain't gonna fight nobody, let's strip him. So goddamn Terrence Crawford can fight for the vacant WBA title, WBO on the line, unified title against whoever's up next. Put motherfucking Virgil Ortiz in there. Yeah, let's put Virgil Ortiz. Get Manny Pacquiao out the motherfucking window. Go to your political seat in the Philippines. Much respect, salute to the dang OG. And now you goddamn set Terrence Crawford up with freaking Yordenis Ugas or Virgil Ortiz. They say Virgil Ortiz ready. Virgil Ortiz calling out Terrence Crawford. Go ahead, take that L. Because I don't think you're ready yet, but go ahead. Let's put Virgil Ortiz in there. Let's put Yordenis Ugas in there. Both of them cats. That's 2 L's pending right there in the inbox. 2 L's pending. Yordenis Ugas and Virgil Ortiz both take L's against Terrence Crawford, but it allows him to pick up that WBA vacant title. That's real talk, man. I'm just putting it out there. Grogan said King Mitch, terrible trainer. Smith had 8-inch reach advantage to jab him all night. Man, we know somebody that tall has the reach advantage. We know that shit. We know. Looking at the pictures, I even put one up on IG. It wasn't even motherfucking boxers. I was just basically highlighting the height disparity between the two. Okay, because to add to your point, around the 3rd round, Reynoso told Canelo that Smith is too tall, so punch the arms and shoulders. It was part of the strategy, like you said. Yeah, it was part of the strategy, man. Like, the entire body is a target in boxing from the waist up. Okay? From the waist up. From the abdominal protector up, it is a target. So that it's not funky to say, damn, Canelo was fucking a man arm up. Oh, that's fucked up, man. You know he supposed to box with his hand. I mean, his arms. Why you gonna fuck? That's part of it. If a fighter gets a cut and it's a stoppage, then the fighter that basically administered the cut comes out a winner. From the waist up is accessible. Besides the back of the head, punching motherfucker in the back, and all that shit. It's accessible. So we can't get mad if Canelo Alvarez was fucking up damn Smith's arms. We can't get mad. He did what he's supposed to do with the accessible point of contacts that he practiced. You know, he did what he's supposed to do, man. Kudos to Canelo. Made it look easy again. Picked up another strap. King Mitch, one thing Triple G did good against Canelo was keeping that jab in his face, and credit to Abel. How much y'all want to talk about Triple G? I am not. I'll probably at the end, man. Andrade was cringe as fuck. Man, that's another one. Nope. Looked like a serial killer. Who is Andrade? Just who is that for a second? Mannix did have 2. Crawford isn't the zone. Mannix didn't have to. Crawford isn't with the zone. You're right. But he is the opponent, the speculation, you know, being that they both campaign in the same division, his name is allowed to come up in the talking point. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence is nowhere close associated with the zone, but his ass was over there doing the same thing Terrence Crawford did. But since he's coming off a win against Danny Garcia and trying to fight all of a sudden Canelo Alvarez, listen, he can bring this up to the surface all day long. He can talk on it. He can keep on talking. But if it doesn't happen in the next 6 months, he better hope damn well that he puts tweets out every motherfucking week about him and Canelo, because the boxing community is not going to talk too much on it. Now, it's some channels on here that would, include myself, but I will only talk about it if I feel that it's a date out there already. Like Canelo Alvarez, for instance, he defeated Callum Smith, but his next opponent is Alney Yildirim. Once again, I could see if it was Canelo Alvarez stepping there with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and his next opponent is who? Gennady Golovkin. I can see that. It's already confirmed. That's all I'm saying. The shit's already confirmed. We don't have shit that's confirmed with Errol Spence. What's the confirmation? Verbal confirmations are very shallow. They can be absolved in a second. But we want contractual confirmation that these fights are indeed signed, and we look forward to seeing them coming up. That's what we want. Seriously. We are tired of the verbal, banter, the banter in the media. Obviously, I'm keeping it very respectful with Errol Spence without going in on his situation, because I'm keeping it respectful, but he's sounding really, really goofy out here a little bit. If you're going to clean it out, do it. I did drop the link. Shit, I did. There you go, man. There you is. Like I said, I dropped the link, man. There you is. I dropped the link. Boxing today. Some of these fighters walk around talking like they Money Mayweather. Spence versus Crawford is starting to feel like a fantasy fight. Man, you ain't never lied on that, bro. You ain't never lied on fantasy fight. That shit might be far out, the perimeters of a fantasy fight. Because the way Spence is talking is that his intentions is to move up. Every time Crawford comes up, he want to shut it down. So you plan to make the biggest money possible when you basically, downgrade the man value as a boxer in the media. But yet when the fight does present itself and y'all come close to signing, now all of a sudden people are supposed to latch on to it. Like, okay, now we got the fight we've been waiting on. See the good thing that I understand about this matchup, if it ever gets signed, is that both of these fighters are going to be worth the build up. I really hope both sides promote accordingly. Top Rank did a damn good job in the promotion of Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. I mean, they did some shit on the inside that if you're media, you will understand. You know what I'm saying? Shit that we have to go through. But they did a damn good job, man, with Cole promoting that fight with PBC. Now, I'm hoping before October that we can get something, that we can make something happen. And these two, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, equally will build this fight up. And it should be similar on the level of Tony Harrison, Jermell Charlo type shit. Seriously, I believe we're going to get that energy. Seriously, that was a classic. Like, give it up to Tony Harrison. He might have freaking lost his way in the rematch and lost focus. But the sound bites he was putting out there on Jermell Charlo was damn on point. The motherfucker was goddamn classics. The good thing about this fight, this is gonna probably be the most that we've seen Terrence Crawford talk. Is he gonna break his shell if this fight is signed and talk to media more? That's up to him, man. I hope so. I really hope he does. Errol Spence is already out there trying to keep his name, trying to win over fans, trying to what they call it, reinvent his his persona to the fans after the accident. That's what Errol Spence is trying to do. He's trying to reinvent himself as far as his image after that accident, because he wants to build it up enough to where people in Texas will come out and see him fight. Is it smart or dumb? I'll take that back. Is it smart? Yes. It's absolutely smart. You know what I'm saying? I don't see any dumb in it except what I mentioned earlier about him going back and forth. That's the only dumb I see in this whole equation. Him promoting himself, cool. But God, I mean, damn, y'all. Like, hold this man accountable for making excuses. I'm tired of hearing the retread of what Bud Crawford isn't. I'm tired of it. And I know a lot of other people are tired of it. But tired isn't going to get us to change anything. It's just the fact we have to talk about what we know. And what we understand is that Bud Crawford would be a damn good matchup for Errol Spence. That's what we know. I don't want to hear shit about resumes no more, man. It's not like Errol Spence's resume far supersedes that of Errol Spence, man. I mean, Errol Spence's resume supersedes that of Terrence Crawford. I don't see that. I don't see a huge gap that we can say Errol Spence's resume, and let's just say in the welterweight division. Like I said, it's supposed to. He has some top names in the welterweight division. But still, 3 fighters that hasn't fought one another is Bud, Keith Thurman, okay? He's still there. Keith Thurman and Errol Spence. They have not fought one another. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, why he mentioned Pacquiao? I don't feel Manny Pacquiao is a top welterweight. He has the motherfucking belt, but with the right opponent, he was able to do what he did. But does he defeat Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford? In my opinion, both ways is an L. Both ways are an L for Manny Pacquiao. Hold on for a second. What's going on, Major Key? How you feel, bro?
I'm chilling, brother. How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. What's up with you? Everybody, Major Key Boxing in the building, man. Good dude. Make sure you check out his channel and everything, man. What's popping?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna drop a vid today too. So, about this whole thing. But yeah, man. I like what you're saying here. I like what the topic of conversation right now. You know what I mean? I personally, man, I think that people need to focus right now on their own weight divisions. Canelo did a great job last night. I mean, where you want to start off? Because we were on like different levels here. So where you want to start off?
Well, my main talking point was, what Errol Spence said. He came on, he was able to get behind the mic at the zone. And I know he was there to promote the fight with Canelo Alvarez. So one or two things. You can start off at the welterweight division with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, him supposedly saying that he's on the verge of cleaning out the welterweight division, or the fact that he's really putting out to the public that he's trying to go to 160 and fight Canelo. Let's start with Errol Spence and Canelo, man. How do you see that shit popping?
Well, first of all, to get back to the Terrence Crawford, though, is like Errol Spence, you need to, fix your own house before you start trying to fix somebody else's house, right? And everybody still want to see that Crawford Spence. And like you mentioned, even other people in the division, like Thurman, that's only been beat by Pacquiao, you know what I mean? But moving forward to like we're talking about a 147 pounder moving up to potentially fight at 160, right? But at the end of the day, Canelo he's already said that he's trying to unify, and I've been saying that. I know that you remember me saying that multiple times, that I don't think that he's trying to fight, because every time, even the last video that I dropped talking about Canelo cherry picking, you know, because people were saying that, which I disagree with. You know, I was mentioning that a lot of people are talking about Charlo, but I mean, at this point, Canelo's the cash cow. Charlo needs to move up to fight him if he's if Canelo's at 168, because he's the one that wants to unify there. He wants to become undisputed at 168. So why does he need to come down to prove anything to anybody when it comes to Charlo? I mean, Charlo still needs to prove himself against Andre and everybody else in his division.
Okay, let me ask you this then. So if you're saying Charlo need to prove himself to Andre, isn't Errol Spence talking about coming up to 160 to face? Isn't Errol talking about coming up to 160 to face Canelo? So why should Charlo move if Canelo's coming there to fight someone 2 divisions lower?
That's all talk, though, bro. You already know how this shit works. That's all talk. That's all talk, man. Canelo himself said yesterday he wants to become undisputed at 168. That's what he said. So what does it matter what Spence says? Since, you know what I mean? Like Spence says this, Charlo says that. Everybody's calling out Canelo, and you know, I can't blame him. You know what I mean? Everybody was calling out Mayweather. Everybody was calling out Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? He's a cash cow. You know what I'm saying? Of course they're gonna call him out. But being realistic,
was in the building yesterday, man. He was at the zone. He didn't pay for his flight out there.
Mm-hmm. No, I got you. I saw all of that. I saw it. I watched it. I watched the whole card.
Yeah, he didn't pay for his flight out there. Like they trying to build something up.
Yeah. Keep in mind though, right now what we're dealing with is you even heard Eddie Hearn saying we're trying to keep him happy to maintain this relationship with Canelo, right? Because of the, you see what I'm saying? So they're trying to put names out there. So he threw out the name Billy Joe Saunders. He didn't throw out the name Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, obviously, if he does Caleb Plant, because now he's working on his own, Canelo Alvarez. So now he's doing a fight-to-fight contract. He does it with his own, boom. And then after that, then he's going to have to link up with the PBC, because he's not going to want to, if he didn't want to cut off Golden Boy, what makes you think he's going to want to cut off PBC that he's never worked with? See what I'm saying? So he's going to cut off the zone for that particular fight if he could become unified, you know, with Plant and Billy Joe Saunders. That's what I think, just from a business standpoint. You know what I mean?
It's a solid point, man. I understand where you're going with that. I just look at it like, Canelo may not have mentioned Errol Spence's name because Chase is a race. He's not going to goddamn build up Errol Spence from 2 divisions lower. Man, Canelo is the man right now. You know what I'm saying? Canelo is the fucking man. Yeah. Don't even mention Errol Spence's name. Have him doing what he's doing the same shit, showing up, the same stuff he was criticizing Crawford is doing. But I truly believe that Errol Spence should pay attention to his primary division and don't try to make another excuse talking about he's outgrowing the welterweight division. Now, motherfucker, you look in tremendous shape against Danny Garcia. Stay down there welterweight and do your job.
Yeah, and you know, at the end of the day, when we look at this, right, you know, we're gonna have, depending on the person that you speak to, they're gonna say that Canelo's ducking Spence. Canelo's ducking, what's Charlo? Canelo's ducking Bivol. Canelo's ducking this dude. He's ducking Plant, even though he sent him 2 contracts already. Like, Canelo's doing this. Canelo, but you, as accomplished as the dude is, man, like, yo, come on, man. Like, let's be honest, man. Make your name known to the point where it's inevitable that it's going to happen. And a lot of these dudes are not doing that. They just want the cash money fight right now. And they're not building their own names. And that's the whole problem that's what we keep talking about in boxing. Nobody's building their own name to bring that energy to the table, to bring that leverage to say, you know what, you have to fight me. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about Rocky 3 right now. You know what I'm saying? Where it's inevitable. You have to fight this person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you believe that he'll fight Mitz said blow Blow Saunders or whatever, Billy Joe Saunders. Who do you believe would be the next one in Canelo fighting at 68? Will it be Caleb Plant or
I
Billy
I
Joe?
I think he has to because the WBC already said it before the fight. So they said whoever wins this fight with the WBC championship, the mandatory is going to be Abner Yildirim.
Yeah,
So
we
I
know
think
that. I mentioned that. I know that, Major Key. I'm just saying,
okay.
who do you think he's gonna fight first between Billy Joe Sanders and Caleb Plant?
I think if the zone prepares a nice contract, he'll continue that relationship for one more fight just to gain that belt, and then after that, he can go ahead and part ways with the zone and make a deal with the PBC to make the Caleb Plant fight.
Okay.
And I'm just thinking business wise, you know what I'm saying? Not as a fan, there's different things. I would like to see him fight everybody that everybody says that he's ducking. But, from him trying to build a legacy, I understand the fact that he's went through multiple weight classes. He's got an outstanding career. He just wants to be to add one little more wrinkle to the coat right there and just and say, you know what? I was undisputed at this weight class.
Yeah, man, if he's able to build undisputed of what he's been able to accomplish right now with 54 victories, 1 defeat, man. Yeah, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer as we know it already. But yeah,
exactly.
becoming undisputed, 68, cleaning out the division. And what would be more fucked up, Major Key, if he does it before the welterweight division. That'll be fucked up. Seriously, if he's able to make okay, we all know he's gonna wash Abner Yildirim. We already know that shit. Former sparring partner, all that bullshit. He gets a fight, let's just say a little bit past mid-year. It's either Caleb Plant or Billy Joe Saunders. He will only have one other belt. You know what I'm saying? He will only have one other belt to deal with, and then he'll make that happen. But then we have 2 champions that's out there, and we don't know what the fuck is going on with Manny Pacquiao. We know Crawford wants to fight, but they got to scoop up the belt with Manny Pacquiao first.
Yeah, that's true. And it's the same thing. It's just like Canelo fighting, Billy Joe Saunders. You know what I'm saying? Like, me personally, I don't think Billy Joe Saunders beats Plant or the future people that did. I don't see him beating a David Benavidez. I don't see him beating a Berlanga in the future. You know what I'm saying? So like what it is right now, it's kind of the same thing in that weight division. It's like you got to get it done right now.
Rashid says Charlo has been a world champion for 5 years. He's been the main event, primetime fight on Showtime and Fox for all those years. What are you talking about? He isn't making a name for himself. We're talking
to me. I didn't say that.
I don't know. I'm reading a comment. So Rashid, who are you talking about? It's Charlo in 60. Charlo in 60. You're talking about? Look. We all know you're a champion for many years, but it's all about who you fight. It's all about who you fight. They always make that. And right now, Charlo in the 60, he can't get a dance partner in Canelo Alvarez. If you're talking about Maul Charlo, he can't even get a dance partner in Canelo Alvarez.
And the reason why, WPS, you know what I'm saying? Like we all know, like we talk on many boxing platforms, and we know that we deal with people from all over the world. And people don't think highly yet of him. And it's because he hasn't fought anybody really. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what you're doing, just because they're promoting you, they're putting you on a platform to try to make you look enticing. You know what I'm saying? That's great and all that, but at the end of the day, it goes nowhere if you're not fighting anybody.
At 160 is all about who will fight you as well. Okay, I understand, Rashid. If it's all about who you will fight, who will fight you as well, then that's probably why we're saying that Charlo hasn't really shined the way people want them to be. The Charlo twins are attached at the hip, of course. But at 60, Mauro Charlo still has a lot of proving to do. Like, Sergey Derevyanchenko is giving him all he can handle. And we all know who Sergey Derevyanchenko is fought. He's had plenty of times to try to pick up that belt, but he gave Charlo a pretty good go in there. But he hasn't fought any big names, man, and he's a 2-division champion.
Yeah, and Scotty, if I could add on to that, because just so they don't misconstrue, because there's other boxing platforms that have a specific narrative they're trying to push. Ain't nobody, at least on my part, I'm not saying that Charlo can't fight, because I think that he can be a great fighter, but we want to see that though. That's the whole point. He needs to showcase that. And right now you asking for a major fight, and you haven't showcased your abilities to why you should be, a threat to Canelo Alvarez, instead of just a normal 1-2 punch, which I think he's great athletically, you know what I'm saying? And that 1-2 punch is way quicker, and he's got some good defense and all that. But at the end of the day, man, you're talking about Canelo Alvarez, man. He's been with all types of different type of fighters, So I mean, I think people around the world, to make that a big money fight, they need to see him fight somebody of that caliber. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going from, pretty much a prospect to, yeah, you're a champion right now, but you still haven't really fought a lot of other champions to pique anybody's interest. You're talking about Canelo. How many freaking people have you fought? And you still got people asking questions about, oh, who has he fought? What you mean, who has he fought? You know what I'm saying?
Who has he fought in the 60 alone is the question. He hasn't fought Triple G, Andrade, and he definitely hasn't fought Canelo, man. Come on. Bro, I know y'all fans of the fighter that you want to be fans with, but when y'all drop these questions to him, like, man, who is Charlo fought? That's a champion in his division. That's a big name. Who has Mauro Charlo fought? And then you say Charlo outshines anyone Canelo is fighting. That's good to talk about, but we won't know because he's not fighting any opposition. He's not moving up to 68. He's not moving to 75. So who are you talking about in particular? Rocky Fielding? Who are you talking about? Callum Smith, Sergey Kovalov? In order for us to do a comparison, he has to make a move. He has to jump outside the division and challenge himself at a higher division. If he doesn't do that, then it's all talk.
And I agree, man. I'm glad you answered that one, because I saw that one too. And it's like my simple answer was, okay, he outshines anybody Canelo fought. How? How do you have any proof? There's no proof in that. You know what I mean? It's a good theory, but we haven't seen it yet. And I think the whole world is going to be interested unless we see something like that.
Yeah, man. In my opinion, boxing is bigger than just the banter, man. Come on, like, I understand y'all fuck with the Charlos and people fuck with Errol and Crawford, but when it comes to their resume and the credentials that they have earned, we look at the 160-pound division. You have Triple G, who's just fighting everybody outside of Charlo. Andrade, his name is whatever it is. It's not even close to Charlo. Canelo's doing what Canelo does. I mean, who else Charlo is going to pique interest with that to get the fight fans and say, you know what, he's fighting the best competition up there, man. I fuck with Charlo. He's fighting the best competition. That ain't happening. They're just fighting a fight, and then they want to do a special that they bought another vehicle and shit. And goddamn, I mean, it's more than damn show and tell when it comes to material items that you're making money. It's all about what you're doing in the ring to establish legacy and to see if you're a future Hall of Fame fighter. And the Charlo brothers, okay, one of them is doing pretty decent right now. He's on the brink, Jermell Charlo, of unifying the 154-pound division.
Mm-hmm.
So after he does that, what's next?
Yeah, man. And so going back to person that's in the chat, Canelo was moving out of divisions to avoid Charlo, right? So again, well, I guess if you don't understand Spanish, you probably didn't understand what he said. But he was saying in Spanish yesterday, and the translator didn't give the whole. You know how those translators never say the whole thing that they're saying. Well, what he said was, I'm trying to unify at 168 because they asked him about Charlo, and he said, after that, we'll see what looks good. Like, so he didn't dismiss it. He said, after I unify 168, we see what looks good. So he was open to it. He didn't even shrug his head. Nah, he didn't give an excuse. He just said, I'm trying to unify at 168. After that, we'll see what looks good.
And that's keeping it simple. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's keeping it simple right there.
Yeah.
I think unification is a bigger priority in where he's trying to go right now in his career. Unification is absolutely a priority. But when it gets to people picking and choosing these names, I don't know, man. Like, you have names in the division. Why can't he make a fight with one of the bigger names? We just seen Triple G come off there on a one-sided damn bludgeoning of Kamil Sameda. I mean, it was one-sided. We didn't see any type of thriller in that. We just know every time Triple G opened up, he had success, and old boy was taking punishment to the point where his corner stopped the fight. Why not damn Charlo Triple G, man? He's right there. Fuck. I mean, he's right there in the middle. He go in there and defeat Triple G and get him his second defeat. Charlo goes into a whole nother damn layer in his career, period. A whole nother layer, man.
And that's what the reporter was arguing with Demetrius Andrade about, because he was telling them, because he was saying, oh, well, you can't call him like really the top when he hasn't fought the top like me and this and that. And he was basically saying, like, you know, you haven't either, though. You know what I'm saying? Like how you gonna sit here and say that he's not at the top? You know what I mean? Like, he could be fighting people. Andre could be fighting people at his weight class, but he's not doing that. You know what I'm saying? You there, like I said, depending on the person you speak to, they're gonna tell you that somebody is the Canelo's ducking somebody in multiple different weight classes, but not focusing on the fact that he's trying to unify at 168. You can't get mad at the dude, man. Like, you know, that's kind of hateful right there. You know what I'm saying? And it's all good because, you know, at the end of the day, y'all putting money in his pocket because the same way that Mayweather made all this money off of people wanting to see him get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, kind of a way of making money in this boxing game, I guess.
True. That's true. Somebody put in the comments, then Jamel say Jamal turned down the Canelo fight. Yeah, I did hear that.
Jamal turned down the Canelo. Yeah, well, Jamal did. He did, and Plant did as well.
Yeah, but I think both of those was receiving contracts on short notice too, I think.
Well, for example, let me put it to you like this. This one right here, there's no excuse for it because Plant should have been ready. Like they even posted a video, oh, Plant looks in tremendous shape. You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. Well, if he looked in tremendous shape, man, then why wasn't he ready to fight? Because look at all these other people that made money off of this COVID comeback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, you should have been ready if somebody sent you a contract. You know what I mean? You had like all this time to prepare. You should have been preparing. Like, what you mean short notice? You know what I mean? You're a champion. This is your bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? Yo, World Combat, if you just run into the streets right now and you meet somebody, some great athlete that you never met before in your life, you know what I'm saying, that you haven't had the privilege of interviewing before, and they say, yo, guess what, man? Yo, what's called? I'll give you the opportunity to interview me right now. You're going to pull out your phone and interview that person.
Yeah, pull out the phone.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to make it work. You're going to make it work, right?
Yep.
What you mean if this is your bread and butter and this is boxing, you're making millions of dollars. You're not prepared? That's your excuse? Come on, man.
And you know, it proven that major key because Callum Smith was able to go the distance with this cat,
exactly.
man. He got the short notice too.
Exactly. And then Canelo didn't know how long this fucking this whole legal this litigation battle was going to go on. So, you know, he was ready. You know what I'm saying? He was ready. So I'm saying, like, you know, it's a matter of who's disciplined, who's really about the sport, who's about their craft.
Mitch say the thing is it seems like Triple G won't fight Charlo or Andrade. It has been seeming like it has been really painting the picture for Triple G that he's only looking for Canelo Alvarez, because even more now he went through adversity in that Sergey Derevyanchenko fight. So yeah, he may not want a tough fight until he's able to get that, but we're not hearing any of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when is Triple G, who's getting older, is going to fit into the equation when he's talking about unifying the super middleweight division? He didn't say I want to fight Triple G again. He's talking about unifying the damn super middleweight division. So he might need to move on and face somebody at 60, man. Fuck it. Canelo has been protected from every top fighter who his weight class and his age group. Two things can be true. Andrade and Mannix were both correct in a sense. What you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I can see where he's coming from with that, but if you look at the Canelo track record, man, like I don't feel like there's any room to say that he's ducked anybody. It's like saying Pacquiao ducked Crawford. It's one of those things. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like you already know the dude will fight anybody. He just fought a guy 7 inches taller than him, 7.5 inch reach advantage. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And broke him down, bro. Made him his size. He
Yeah.
broke him down. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
man. Yep.
And so it has to do with way more than fear. It has to do with this person being in charge of his own legacy. That's what it has to do with. So when it comes to Andre, right, he has a lot more work to do. You know what I'm saying? To make his name relevant, because right now he hasn't done anything to make his name relevant. You know what I'm saying? He's had the opportunity to do that, and he hasn't. So I think that we're talking about two different levels here. We're talking about elite level, and we're talking about a pretty good fighter. I'm not going to say good. I'm not going to say great, but a pretty good fighter in Andre. You know what I'm saying? He's an awkward guy. I get it, but we haven't seen him against a Charlo. You know what I'm saying? Which I think Charlo again is a very sophisticated, high level, technically sound guy. But I need to see him in there against other elites to consider him at the top of the class for me to see him against a Canelo or want that fight. You know what I mean? Yeah, I would like to see it. I'm not going to say I wouldn't like to see it, but I don't think that it's going to be a big money fight, so I can't blame Canelo for not wanting that fight. You know what I mean? Especially if he has to move down to 160. You know what I mean? He wants to unify 168. So you got to make it sound interesting to him. This dude's making $20 million a fight. Why is he going to fight? Why is he going to fight, Charlo and have to take a pay cut or some shit like that? We got to take all this stuff into perspective.
Do you feel that Canelo Alvarez is always being sneaky about setting up his fights? Because Mitch said the short notice contract shit is whack. Canelo is great, but the shit is whack, especially when Canelo has the date in advance. We've always heard that Canelo is always putting stipulations in his fight. Is that smart in your opinion? Is it crafty enough to set up your fights, to put your opponents at attention, to kind of fast track? Or what do you think about that?
All of the A sides have done it, including Mayweather. Everybody does it. It's a head thing. It's a head game. You know what I mean? Like with Mayweather fucking around with the glove situation, or telling Pacquiao, hey, you could take ibuprofen, and no, you can't take no ibuprofen, or you know what I'm saying, making the champion walk out second or first, and then you walk out second with the bigger intro, which what Canelo did yesterday. You know what I'm saying? It's all head games. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the benefit of being the A side. You know what I mean? It's just playing these little games. But at the end of the day, it's been happening forever in boxing. So it's not like it's new. You know what I'm saying? You can't get mad at Canelo like he created that. He's just running with the script. He's just using it to his advantage.
I don't put too much emphasis in it because, like I said, the fighters, this is their bread and butter. This is how they make a living. And you should be in shape. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? You should be in shape, ready for whoever. People always use Floyd Mayweather's saying a true champion will adapt to anything. And that goes to saying, when you get this contract and you're fighting a big name, you got to be ready. You might not be at 100%, but at least you are preparing yourself enough to go in there, and then you face adversity, you make those changes and keep it moving. Yeah. Tone said Triple G looking for a cash out fight with Canelo in the trilogy. In my opinion, I don't think he can deal with the physicality that Jamal Charlo brings. Hey, we won't ever know, man. I would like to see that fight. Canelo,
I would like to see it too.
Yeah, he isn't a bum, as they call it. He isn't a BUM. He isn't a freaking tomato can. It'll be a good fight. But goddamn it, I'm not hearing anything from the Charlo side about facing Triple G. None.
I'll be the first one, bro. If you tell me Triple G and Charlo is on pay-per-view, I'm gonna tell you, you know what? And remember the last time when both Charlos were having the fight, I said I'm not paying for that. $75? Hell no, I'm not paying for that. But if it's Jamal Charlo versus Triple G, you got my attention. I'm gonna make sure. Hey, okay, all right. We spent this much on Christmas. Let me put this much aside. You know what I'm saying? Because this fight's about to happen. Yeah. I'll watch that fight.
I agree. I'm the same way, man. It's a good question from D-Ray. He said, who is the big money fight for Saul Canelo Alvarez? And to me, it might be different what a lot of people want to hear. But I think him and David Benavidez is a good fight. Him and Caleb Plant is a good fight. You know what I'm saying? I would want Caleb Plant or David Benavidez before Billy Joe Saunders.
You want me to tell you who I think? But it's not right now. In about 2 years, if Berlanga does the right things.
I know you was gonna say Berlanga, man.
Of course, bro, because everybody like learned about him over this summer, man. Everybody knows who he is. Yo, you heard about that kid knocking everybody out? Everybody, but even the casuals are telling, like, they don't even know. Some of these people don't even know the top of the stars that we know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't even know just major names that we know. You know, but they know Berlanga, and it's because the casuals love knockouts. You know what I'm saying?
But you think this dude gonna be able to box himself enough against a crafty veteran as Canelo Alvarez?
That's why I said that's why I said no. I'm not saying that he's gonna be able to box like that unless we see it. He says that he knows how to box, but we don't have so I can't put my faith in that neither. But I'm talking about a big money fight, whether he loses or not. I'm not saying that he wins. I'm just saying what's a big money fight. If he builds it the right way, you can see a big ass money fight at 168 with them too. Because it's Mexican, Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about the Canelo Alvarez versus this fucking demonstrative, like this crazy ass dude that's knocking everybody out. You know what I'm saying? Like he's already got a following, like big time. Do I think other people would perform better right now against Charlo? Or I'm sorry, against Canelo? Absolutely. Because I haven't seen too much off of Berlanga. But what I'm saying is, you asked about the big money fight. If this dude plays his cards right, that's and also for Charlo though, if Charlo plays his cards right, he could actually at 168 meet up with Canelo and make it a big money fight. But it's about leading up to it. And right now, that's why I keep saying I need to see more from Charlo. I need to see more from Berlanga too. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like right now, the dude is promoting himself a lot better than Charlo is.
I think Jamal Charlo is a bigger fight with Canelo than Charlo Berlanga. I know you're talking about, some years out, but just say a year out from here.
Right now,
I still think Charlo will give Berlanga a good run in 68, man.
Oh, you saying Charlo versus Berlanga?
Yeah, man. Because we're talking about boxing.
Nice. And winner fights Canelo. I would say I could. Hey, I'll rock with that.
Winner fights Canelo, man.
I'll rock with that all day long.
I mean, we got to get a test out here for both of these cats. Even Charlo. Charlo. But Berlanga, when he's knocking cats out in one round, man, we definitely trying to see what he'll look like if he goes out of to the third or fifth round. That's all we want.
Yeah, I agree, man. And I've been saying my last two predictions had him going to at least the third or fourth round, and I was wrong in both because he knocked him out in the first round again.
Yeah. Mitch, I kind of disagree. Triple G is still the bigger fight for Canelo, unfortunately. Man, these cats have fought twice already, man. And I think Triple G's value and brand when it comes to matching up with Canelo for the interest of the fans have degraded a bit because of the way he looked against Sergey Derevyanchenko. That's all I'm saying, man.
Yeah, and what's his name? I know Teddy Atlas a little crazy, a little off his rocker, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But he did say he did comment after the fight, and he was like, "Look, man, I know the fans are gonna get mad at me, but I think Triple G doesn't stand a chance with this Canelo the way that he's at where he's at right now."
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I just feel that the way he looked against Sergey Derevyanchenko, a lot of us felt that Derevyanchenko won that fight. They gave it to Triple G. And, of course, he still can box. He has a new trainer. I was able to witness him moving his head a little bit more against Zerameda. I did witness that. He's going to need it against Canelo Alvarez, but no one is talking about Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G in 21. So if that's the case, he's getting a year older, which is only going to benefit Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah. Well, and also keeping in mind the same things that we just been talking about, right? Like nobody's out here talking about, Canelo's ducking Triple G. Nah, they're talking about, he's ducking Charlo, he's ducking Better Biv. He's ducking Bivol. He's ducking Andre. He's ducking this dude. He's ducking that dude. He's ducking everybody, right? But nobody's saying Triple G.
Nobody, man. I mean, it's some fans out there that want the Triple G fight to happen for a trilogy because they have a history, and a lot of them say the Triple G won the first one. You know, just like they was doing with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, but definitively, Canelo Alvarez won that, in my opinion, in a rematch. But even that fight was close. But man, I ain't trying to give Triple G no shine right now, for real, because that dude, all he trying to say he's the best middleweight ever with the fences and shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
goddamn, Canelo holds a belt in the middleweight division too, but you're just gonna look. He's just gonna stay in the middleweight division his entire career. He don't want to move up the 168. Like, you don't want to do anything more with your career except stay at middleweight.
Yeah, man. And you know you know what, he's not gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's gonna be a Hall of Famer at some point. You know what I'm saying? Because he had that crazy ass knockout streak. So he's gonna go into his only loss technically is Canelo Alvarez. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So unless he really starts getting demolished by people, you know what I mean? But I think he still has work to be done at 160. I don't know. Like, he shouldn't just base his career, like a lot of channels have said, that he bases his career on Canelo. You know, just move forward, man. Look past it, bro. Like that, whether you feel like you got robbed or not, you know what I'm saying? The judges already scored it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's in the record books. Go fight somebody else, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Go up and fight somebody else in the super middleweight division. What's wrong with you? Like, you just damn homestand in the middleweight division. Like, that's all you need. Like, you was busy trying to get all those title defenses, and that's all you need. But at the end of the day, people are not going to look at you like that. They're not. They're not going to look at you like a marvelous Marvin Hagler. You know, man, all these other fighters that's dead. You know, that you say you surpass B-Hop and all them. They're going to look at you as a fighter that's attached to Canelo Alvarez. And, you know, you stepped in there with Sergey Damianchenko. You stepped in there with Daniel Jacobs. But we're looking for that premier opponent outside of Canelo Alvarez. Who is it? Who the fuck is it? Only two fighters who can beat Canelo, Andre at 60 and Bivol at 68. We'll see if the shit happens, man. We'll see if he's ready to take that step, but he hasn't called him out yet. He hasn't called. The only name he really want to fight, Billy Joe Saunders. Out of Billy Joe Saunders, that's probably the easiest next opponent for him to face. Because I think Caleb Plant would give him a better go than Billy Joe Saunders. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sweet hands.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. The only thing is the reason I was saying Billy Joe Saunders, the business aspect of it, because they're going to continue that promotional thing with the zone to get that done. And then it makes more sense. If he's going to break ties with the zone, it's after that. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, you know, it's going to be a little iffy, and then negotiations are going to be a little tougher because the zone's going to feel like they got shitted on. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, might as well just get that one out of the way with the zone. It's still another belt. Now you got 3 belts, and you fight Caleb Plant for the last one. Sign up with PBC, do a pay-per-view, because that's what they're going to do. And that's that. You know what I mean? We're going to see who's undisputed at that weight division.
It was a good question, man. What happened? What is going to happen to Canelo 160-pound title?
He should relinquish that, because he just admitted that he wants to unify at 168. So that should be, like, without question, drop the belt. You know what I mean? Let somebody else fight for it.
Yeah, let somebody else get that shit. But, you know, Canelo trying to be a damn hog right now. I mean, he's doing what he's doing. He's making moves, and he's adding wins to his freaking boxing ledger. I respect him for that. But at this point in time, you're a free agent. You're able to make the decisions. Let's see you face somebody that's going to give you a go. We're really not looking forward to the Billy Joe Saunders, though. But, you know, if you have a plan to unify, just like Errol Spence, then, hey, we have to accept the fact that, okay, Billy Joe Saunders is one of the champions over there. Let's go. Let's watch it. It's all good.
That's the whole thing. It's just that he has the belt. Like, unless somebody else takes it from Billy Joe Saunders in the meantime, and then and then challenges Canelo, then that's a whole different. Because you still have time since he needs to fight Abney Yildirim, right?
Correct.
So you still have time for somebody to challenge Billy Joe Saunders to gain that belt. But if nobody's thinking like that, if they're not thinking long term and with the confidence that they could beat Canelo, then I don't see nobody. I see Billy Joe Saunders fighting some other dude that some random guy, and then maintaining his belt and then fighting Canelo. You know what I mean? And I see Eddie Hearn, supporting that because he supports Billy Joe Saunders like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Milo make a solid point in my opinion. We don't know if it'll happen, but he said Triple G will move up now that he broke that record. I mean, yeah, if he's confident in himself, cool, move on up. That's where your boy at. That's who you're chasing. You're chasing Canelo Alvarez, so move up there. I think Caleb Plant outboxes the shit out of damn Triple G, in my opinion. I really do. I just think he outboxes damn Triple G if they ever fought anytime soon.
I think he outboxes him, but the question is, can Triple or can Plant hold on to with his chin to one of Triple G's combinations, that because you know what I'm saying, like he got that over the top on top of your forehead type of deal, you know what I'm saying, over the guard, like Triple G's not a pushover. Again, the only person he lost to was Canelo. So that's a tough one to call right there. But I definitely think that Plant has more skills than Triple G. I just think that Triple G's the harder puncher. But we won't know until we see the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man. Mitch said, I understand at this point. No need to move up at 39 years old. We'll see where he really stands because Canelo's campaign is 68 and will definitely flex in negotiations and make this at 168. That's the same thing he did in the rematch. You know what I'm saying? Canelo flexed on Triple G and made it, because Triple G was all upset, talking about he wasn't going to take the fight and everything. And plus he kept on mentioning clenbuterol, and he was being a little baby about it. But so that's nothing new with Triple G whining and complaining. And then that's one of the weakest promos. The two fighters wouldn't even sit in the same room together because supposedly Triple G was mad at Canelo for trying to cheat and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, that's what we're doing right there. EJ crosses every street just to avoid Crawford. Oh, man. They asked Canelo about cruiserweight. He said, no, I'm best at 160 and 68. I don't know, man. Just like a lot of fighters on the back end of their career, they end up in a division we never thought they would fight. So if it's a championship belt up there for Canelo to get a fifth division, he might step up there. If the Bridger weight isn't in the building yet, it all depends. So what do you think about some of the other fights that took place this weekend, man? Like Jerome Ennis, he was
I didn't get to catch. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was on the road for 9 hours because I picked up my daughters for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
So I was gone. I got back just in time to start watching the Zone card. So I didn't even watch Showtime. But I heard that he got a headbutt or some shit and it stopped in the first round. What was up with that?
Yeah, man, they clashed heads. I mean, it was a legitimate headbutt, clash of heads, but his opponent couldn't continue. So it was a 1 round. They ruled it a no contest, man.
So Jerron Ennis suffered the cut, or the other guy suffered the cut?
The other guy. I don't even know if he had a cut, man. I think he was just making it seem like he got a headbutt. When fighters do that, like, damn, I got over with this, cool, I got a paycheck. Yeah, I mean, they still get paid. They couldn't do anything about their headbutt, but Jerome Ennis was good to go. He said, okay. And then the other fighter was just reminding me of Mir Khan and Terrence Crawford. Like he had his back to the referee. He was in his corner acting like he was hurt and he couldn't continue.
I like that Castro fight. It was like his debut. And it was like a 4-rounder. He knocked the dude out in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
But then he looked funny as hell. Like he was feeling himself for real. Yo, my whole household, right? I had people over here watching that card, right? And everybody was cracking up. They're like, "Look at this motherfucker! This is his first fight, and he feeling himself." But then, yo, we was really laughing when we was watching the introductions for the with all the the national anthems. Yo, what you thought about that? That shit was kind of awkward.
Yeah, it was awkward. You know, I'm like, what's a special occasion though? Like, what we doing? Like, why are we wasting time doing this shit?
Yo, I had people over here that, because I don't smoke, but I had people over here that were lit, and they were like looking at it, laughing their asses off. I'm like, yo, what's going on? They're like, oh, look at this. I'm like, okay, yeah, that is kind of weird, you know what I'm saying? But they were just having a blast about that.
Yeah, it's almost like, I mean, we getting to the holidays, man. Play some motherfucking Christmas shit or something. You know what I'm saying? Like all this damn country unity. I mean, we didn't need to see that, man.
That was a weird like it was 3 back to back.
Yeah,
and you know, and then after that, you got the crazy intro by Canelo. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on here, man? But you know, I get that he's trying to make a comeback, he's a superstar and all that, you know. But I was like, damn, that's mad extra, bro, for like, you know, for the zone fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't just spend $75. You know, I might want some extra entertainment and shit. You know, if I spend $75, but
yeah,
you know, for me it was like get the fight going, and it was like all these little interruptions here and there. And then they was it me or did they introduce them twice?
Yeah, usually they introduce them for the ring walk. Of course, we know that for the ring.
No, I mean in the ring, like the first introduction, Canelo got his shirt taken off. Then they did the whole introduction again. Did anybody notice that?
After all the anthems played and shit.
Yeah, after all the anthems, like they said, this guy, they said the records and all that, and then they Canelo Alvarez, they took off his shirt and he came out, and then they did it again.
It's possible. It's possible, man. They did that shit twice.
Yeah, I thought I was tripping. I was like, yo, is it me? I told everybody, and they were all lit, so they didn't really like pay attention. They was like, oh, did they? I'm like, yeah, man, y'all all watched it with me. Yeah, I thought I was tripping, but you know.
I'm gonna go back and watch that shit and see. You know, that's crazy. If they introduced them twice, man, 3 times, really.
You see, Milo said they introduced twice because Buffer was virtual.
Oh wow, damn, that's crazy, man. Boxing trying new shit, man. They didn't that wasn't something that just came out of nowhere. They trying new shit, bro, for real.
Yeah.
Tone said that was a huge cut on Herden forehead. Okay, he did have a cut. Okay, that's what's up. I know a lot of people are talking about that, Milo. They believe Boots is going to be a problem at 147. It's going to be ugly for the heat. A lot of people have energy on Boots Ennis, and he's going to be a champion. Boots Ennis is going to be a champion real soon. I do believe that.
Absolutely,
whether he's going to be a champion, yeah, I think he's going to pick up a secondary belt, and then we really don't know what's going to happen from there. We don't know because of what's going on at the state of the welterweight division with the 3 champions that currently hold the titles. They introduced twice because Buffalo was virtual. I thought the 3 girls who sung the national anthem was about to kill it. Yeah, man.
Yo, it sounded like we was listening to a multiple personality person just like singing the national anthem. It was like, yo, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? And they had beautiful voices, but damn, like it was kind of awkward. It was a weird way to present the national anthem. You know what I mean? But hey, man, I'm gonna fall back. Like I said, I got my daughters here from out of town, and we're about to do a movie night and all that. But I just wanted to chop it up with you real quick about the topics because I think it was important since it just happened yesterday, and there's a lot of confusion, you know, with what's going on with Canelo and Errol Spence and everybody. So I just wanted to give my piece on that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Happy holidays to you and your family, man. Y'all enjoy that. You know what it is, man. Major Key boxing in the building.
Yes, sir. To you too, and to everybody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever it is that you celebrate. And we'll chop it up soon, bro.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you pulling up.
No doubt.
Yeah, man. That triple anthem, you know, that triple threat anthem, didn't live up to the expectations. But a lot of stuff is popping off in this pandemic. So we won't know until 21 kicks off and boxing. Are we gonna have a larger live gate? Is it boxing has to come with something that's refreshing. You know what I'm saying? We need some refreshments. We need some motherfucking refreshments in 21. Really, that's what we need. Refreshments. Shout out to Team Williams Jr. You know what I'm saying? In the building. Real talk. If y'all don't know, support him. I know y'all been listening and around the way. We did sit up here and call out, and that we did what we supposed to. We was calling out Haney for that. And a lot of people saying that William will get washed and Devin Haney will fuck him up and all that. But look, a lot of y'all don't believe that. So, you know what I'm saying? Just understand. Go support my man on IG. Michael Williams, the boxer. Go there, support the young warrior, man. They grinded independent team out here getting it in, and continue to support them. Tone said, yeah, I noticed that it was weird. They had Michael Buffer introduce him virtually. Then the ring announcer did the introduction. I think I read that all. Oh, okay. That was the second one. I honestly think Boots can beat Spence right now. Damn. Did he just say that? Did Milo just come with that? Did he just make that statement? He said he think Boots can beat Spence right now. Now, I disagree. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I disagree. But that fight, I can't see that shit happen. I can't see it happening, period. I don't think, he gets a shot at any of those titles. The Spence is gone. I think he picks up a secondary title. But as far as him facing some of the top names, what, Keith Thurman? Keith Thurman don't look like he's going to move up anytime soon. Sean Porter, I see Boots in potentially facing Sean Porter, Keith Thurman. One of those. I don't see him facing any other top champions right now, especially Manny Pacquiao. He don't have a big enough name to slide in there like that. I don't see him. I think Terrence Crawford gives Boot Ennis the business. I do. I like a lot about Boots, but he needs to understand that, yeah, he needs more experience at the welterweight division. He does have a record, and he has his good amount of wins to that record. But it all depends on the quality of opposition. That's where we at with Boots. I was looking forward to saying congrats on the win, but he went out from a headbutt. So did you hear Lolo's grandfather message that dude? Please keep my grandson. Yeah, I did. It was bound to happen because I know how the real ones move. Man, come on. I know how the real ones move. Lolo, them are cool people, man. You know what I'm saying? Charles Harris, shout out to Charles Harris and Lolo. I mean, they right. They right, because basically you're trying to link a fighter that's 3-0. Well, he's 3-0, 4-0, right? You're trying to match him up with a fighter that's 14-0. And you're basically trying to go against something that wasn't really put out from the team. You're just out here recklessly talking about something. You're just saying, oh, you need to fight so-and-so. It's not that easy. You just can't go out here and put somebody in position and you're not signing papers. And you're just a mouthpiece on social media, but you're not a mouthpiece. You're not a mouthpiece and an advocate for the team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've seen it. I definitely seen that. So when it comes down, they checked him, and that's where it is. Hey, that should have been figured out all along. And y'all need to understand one thing. That ain't the only one. I mean, it's only a matter of time before Team Devin Haney is out the picture. Bill is a smart man. He's a smart man. All that work, yelling and screaming Haney's name all the time. Man, I give it 21. Oh, matter of fact, check this out, y'all. Until I see this right here. Here we go. Here we go. Since you brought it up, Milo. Since you brought it up, let me bring you this right quick. All right. Until I see this, y'all understand where I'm going with it. Understand where I'm going with it. Understand. All right. Hold up for a second. Let me show you something right quick. Let me tell you the difference. Because y'all need to understand the difference. I know y'all understand if I told you, but I want to give you the visual of the difference. And not to give him any more shine. And let me tell you the difference on who's being pimped. All right. Check this out. So until they do this, until I see this right here with Team Haney and the other goofballs over there, it doesn't matter to me because they're not really a team. They're not even a unit. He's just a voice that's out there talking and talking and talking. I want to see y'all sitting down as a family and a team in this boxing game. Take a picture at the mansion. Show us a picture of Devin driving you down the boulevard. It ain't gonna happen. You know one thing? I'm gonna let y'all know something. You know one thing Bill told me? One of the only times he jumped on my live, and I don't know if it's because I didn't get all Google-eyed. I'm 50, man. You know, I don't get starstruck over people. I respect them though. You know what I'm saying? If it's mutual. But peep this out. Bill told me that he heard this dude. You know, when I did say this to H, right? I said, have they invited you to do media? Have you broke bread with them and all that? So Bill told me that he tried to make it a point to say that was the reason why he reached out to H. I said, you're not telling the whole story, though. You're not telling the whole story. You're telling a portion, a crumb of the story. He tried to make it seem like that H was supporting his son, and I asked him, have they invited you out to media and broke bread? Have they given you any type of incentive that, you know, they really fuck with you? So he's saying, you know what? When you said that, I had to fuck with it. So he made it seem like that was the inception of the start of him supporting H, right? With Devin Haney, because he ride with Devin. Okay, he can ride with Haney all day long. What's the difference between doing media on the guy and cock riding? Okay, it's a difference between doing media and cock riding. So my only point was, if you're claiming yourself as media and you're talking about one fighter, then your audience should be there just for that one fighter. And then when they find out they're hearing the same thing over and over again, those same individuals that's there supporting Haney, they're going to say, well, I'm not going to tune in today because he's saying the same shit over and over again. But back to my picture, I'm like, until I see you do this, okay, let's even go over here. This is another picture. Until I see you breaking bread, until we see, if Bill wants to sit up here and make moves off what I said to him a while ago, it was merited when I said that shit. Boxing is huge, but this YouTube shit is very condensed. Until you break bread with people who support, genuinely support, and get out here and grind, then you're not a part of the team. You're just out here capping. That's team Michael Williams Jr. Is people eating together, joking, laughing, having fun, all that shit. That's what it is. And then, of course, you got the legend himself, Roy Jones Jr., of course. But the members on the team, you know, move as a unit. They all, it's not motherfuckers getting lectures. Fall in, out 10, report. Team Williams Jr., all present and accounted for. Okay, does everyone know their assignments? No, we ain't moving like that. We're not moving like that. And just to end this, right? Just to end it, without giving too much shine, just to end it, right? They get out, calling a man out his name as if they don't know him. They were saying, oh, no one knows Michael Williams Jr. And you started this, Milo, today. I wasn't even going to talk about it, but I will. So check this out. They were there pretending like they don't know Michael Williams Jr., right? They don't know. But the first thing they do, he said he baited Michael Williams Sr. on his channel. So if you don't know Michael Williams Jr., how do you even know anything about what we got going on previously? Because they had a boxer by the name of DeAndre, the Matrix Neal, on their show. And they even mentioned it. You know how DeAndre was on that show? Is because they have common manager between Devin Haney and DeAndre that knows Michael Williams Jr. So he was asking about Michael Williams Jr. months ago. So I look at it like this. You got grown people supporting the energy. But if you support the energy, you support the stupidity, because it's just too much of it when it comes to this boxing game. Like, I got channels I absolutely respect out there for reporting on boxing. But if you respect a motherfucker that's over 30 years old for his energy, but yet you're not holding him accountable for his stupidity and ignorance, then that you might well just put all that shit in the palm of your hand and ball it up like paper and throw it in the trash. Because at the end of the day, grown-ass adults is going to reflect on it and say, damn, why am I paying this motherfucker any mind? He do the same shit all the time. But like I said before, it ain't that personal calling out Devin Haney. We want the smoke. That's what it is. I'm media. That's what we did. We called him out. We issued a challenge. But what he did was get the father on there and be disrespectful. And we ain't gonna talk too much on that. We don't. We're gonna make our moves as we make them. It's all good. But on this boxing shit right here, this is what needs to be understood. He said he didn't know Michael Williams Jr. He said he didn't know him. But let me show you how he knows him. This is a video I pulled up. Let me see. Where's the video I pulled up? Where is it? I'm about to prove to you how people were more so, they won't even tune in to somebody who's keeping about boxing and everything. They're rather tuning into a channel that's talking reckless and full of ignorance. But check this out though. Don't be mad at somebody else when they start to come with some receipts. So this right here, give me a moment. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, hold up for a second. Where is shit at, bro? Oh, I know why. Okay, I got you. I know why. Hold on for a second. That's what it is. I got you. Because these motherfuckers, they go out there and have people be disrespectful. And then they want to put up lies. Don't believe the lies, dog. Don't believe the lies. Don't believe the lies. Now this is the only airplay I'm gonna give him because he disrespected young Mike who did nothing. His people disrespected him. Not Team Devin Haney, that's a whole nother level, Or what are we talking about? The little pawns in the game, the ones that's being pimped in the first place. Check this out though. They went up here talking about, Michael Carter and all that shit. Just that's what little kids do. They come up with little Tonka toy, a little cliche terms, and they stick with them because they can't expand their vocabulary. They have a mental block. It's not because they can't think. They're incapable of thinking outside of that shit. They was basically below the damn level of critical thinking. But peep this out though. Listen to this. They up here pretending that they don't know Michael Williams Jr. When I was over there on his channel, he was trying to get an interview with Michael Williams Jr. He was trying to get an interview. He was calling people, he even called the team trying to get an interview with Michael Williams Jr. because he felt that's somebody he should interview. You know what I'm saying? So he's up here calling him Michael Carter because he didn't want to give him the full display, whoever put him up to it. But check out this video though. So he said he don't know this bum ass nigga, right? He don't even know. But a lot of people support him for his energy. They don't support him for his intelligence because it's empty. It's none there. But they support him for his energy, so to speak. When did we start supporting people for their energy? When we ourselves hold a accountability of intelligence. Look at this again.
He acting like he don't know who we are, but then he turn around and know who we are. Now watch this.
Coming out of Carolina, there is a young fighter that I know of, Michael Williams. I think he out of North Carolina. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that?
Hey, watch your mouth.
What do you think about him?
So therefore, he's basically identifying that he knows Michael Williams Jr. like a lot of people. He said it right there. He said it right there. Let me back up. This is Michael Williams Sr.'s video. Check this out.
I think he out of North Carolina. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that?
Let me go back.
Michael Williams. I think he out of North Carolina.
Let me go back.
I know of Michael Williams. I think he out of North Carolina. Some fighter that I know of Michael. There is a young fighter that I know of Michael Williams. There is a young fighter that I know of Michael Williams. There is a young fighter that I know of Michael Williams.
Is that enough? Did he not say that? He said there's a young fighter I know of. Okay, let me keep it going.
I think he out of North Carolina. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that?
Hey, watch your mouth.
What do you think about him?
Before I break your back and suck your titties, nigga. Watch your mouth. Before I break your back and suck them little titties you got. You got a reward. I'm not mistaken. You got a reward here. So my guy, I kind of he's learning as he's going, and I'm gonna see.
Absolutely. The kid, Michael Carter Williams, calling out Devin Haney. What ain't Michael Williams? I don't even know this bum ass nigga. They talking crazy, dog. Them niggas talking crazy.
You gotta understand, cats like this that say the same thing over and over again. They're not there for people to believe it. If they say it over and over again, people will hear it, and then it's up to them to make their choice on whether to listen or not. And I'm just giving y'all the open hand to say, here, let me help you be removed from the situation to understand that this guy doesn't understand that there's levels to reporting on boxing. And also, I don't think he's sober to the point where he can take this shit seriously. He does it for the goofy game. When somebody leaves his damn channel, it's all about him hoping somebody like myself or whatever give him airplay. But I'm just for the smart, intelligent human beings, I'm just putting it out there that he does in fact know who Michael Williams Jr. 150 is.
They act like they won't.
He acting like he don't know who we are, but then he turn around and know who we are. Now watch this.
Coming out of Carolina, you know, there is a young fighter that I know of, Michael Williams. I think he out of North Carolina. Yeah. What's the
Hey, watch your mouth.
What you think about him?
Before I break your back and suck your tits, nigga. Watch your mouth. Before I break your back and suck them little titties. Leave that box when you get caught.
Look, that's all I'm gonna play on that, man. That's just hilarious, dog. But I had to put that out there, you know. I know people when it ran back and told, you know what I'm saying? Nobody care about that shit. I'm just trying to wake the ones that support the energy. I'm just trying to wake up the ones who support the energy and not the intelligence. I thought we was in a world of intelligence, but people want to support the energy. But listen, if I had that type of energy, that means I'll be acting like somebody other than who I am, because I how dare me act like somebody that's not conducive to who I hold accountable when I look in the mirror. But I'm telling y'all, it's boxing, this media shit. All you have to do is just pay attention. When you have your people over there disrespecting people all the time, don't get mad when we come for Devin Haney. It's on a challenge on boxing shit. This ain't personal. They make it personal. It's not. It's on boxing when it comes to Devin Haney. I don't no way, shape, or form dislike the man personally. I can't say that. I haven't met Devin. He was cool. You know what I'm saying? It's not personal. But when it comes to challenge, when it comes to this boxing game, yes, you got a hungry fighter out there that wants to fight, that wants that work. Don't look at his box rec and say why he ain't calling out this. You don't even know. Fighters contend in different divisions on the regional level on up. They fight in different divisions all the time. Some people are signed to a promoters and some are not. But to the competent, woke individual when it comes to boxing, they will know that. But just because I say the same thing over and over again, if that was the case, doesn't mean I know what I'm talking about as far as boxing. You have to know the entire spread. You have to do your research. All of that. And if you choose to invite somebody on your panel and then, disrespect them when they treating you as if you the same way you treated others, then it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be a problem. But remember when I said this, right? I showed you the pictures, y'all. I showed you the pictures. What we do know about that, we will never see this. No matter how much he yell and scream, you will not see him in the Ferrari. You won't see him in the freaking luxury SUV. You will not see one freaking picture unless that shit Photoshop. Because if you want that to happen, I can do that myself. If we want to manipulate the frame. But when it comes down to it, be smart, people. Let that shit go. You have a couple more days in 2020. But in 21, be better. Be better than tuning in and listen to garbage. Sanitation. Fecal matter. The same nonsense over and over again, disrespecting people. Knowing damn well when you call another man a bitch ass nigga, right? You really don't mean it. Because the same person that you making those damn you making it seem like you're not dropping your location, but you don't have to, because we know already. We know already. You don't have to drop no fake location. We know already. This is a technology world. Anybody is discoverable, even me. We know already. So don't worry about it. You calling motherfuckers soft, bitch ass niggas hilarious because we all know when it comes down to it, Mr. Bummy, you would never see him in the ring. And then, believe it or not, people, when motherfuckers come back at it, you actually get some people that you thought was cool to defend the clown. So then the circus grows. You had a clown who was the master jester. You know, he was the master jester. Then you have some other people coming in there saying, can I wear the clown suit? Can I act like that too? Can I be in your circle? Can I do this shit? And I'm just sitting back looking like, man, you can't save all of them. You can save some of them. You can't save all of them, though. You can't. Because it's some niggas is out here that's different. Remember, I told y'all, respect yourselves if you in this boxing game. Be first to hit me up when you see H eating dinner, lobster, shrimp. You know what I'm saying? Filet mignon, drinking some red wine, and Bill is at the head of the table. Toast, everybody. Toast. We finally was able to get, and not only that, all them people that's basically, you know, jump roping and shit for the same narrative every time, and they scared to say something outside the pocket. That's why I'm not over there, because I was never a yes man. But this nigga was busy hitting me up. Can you do an interview with me and help me out? Can you get an interview with Michael Williams Jr.? Man, don't fall for the fake. But I want to see the picture. You know, Bill giving a toast at the head of the table. You know, they got some buttered French toast with some goddamn 5-star cuisine, New York strip, some filet mignon, caviar, shrimp, lobster tails. Sweet potato pie. Let me know when the picture is taken. If the picture isn't taken. This is, what's the day? This is the 20th. This is the 20th. The first person that showed me a picture. Look, look, the first person that showed me a picture in 2021, because I'm gonna get Bill to further embrace H, because he said just it's because of me on him supporting H in the first place. So I definitely got a good surprise for the first person to show me that picture on drop that shit in my email, man. When he's actually over there, whether it's in Oakland, Vegas, I got something for you. I got a surprise. I got for real. But show him a picture. No, we ain't talking about eating out of the restaurant. We're talking about in the mansion. You trust him enough to invite him in your home because you respect him riding for Devin Haney. Because I know deep down in Devin Haney's heart, he don't fuck with him. So I respect Devin Haney for that shit. Because he really don't fuck with him. If he did, he'd be on IG Live. Maybe this can get him some more views. Maybe Devin will jump on IG Live with him more than one time so he can post it up on his page. If you really the one that's riding or dying, why you ain't did another video, dog? Why you got like one video up of you and Devin talking? Devin ain't that guy. He ain't up there trying to talk to no motherfucking dude that's saying his name 20 times a motherfucking minute. No. But what Devin Haney can get is this smoke from Michael Williams Jr. Don't make it about boxing politics. Don't make it about who is this nigga fault without assessing your own record. This is boxing. You know what I'm saying? This is what happened in boxing. Y'all did it. Y'all called out fighters. I'm talking about Team Haney, the real Team Haney, the actual Team Haney that trains and get it in the gym. Not the fake YouTube social media cheerleading squad that they have up here. Not that. We're talking about the real ones. But hey, make sure y'all send me that picture. I got something nice for you. That's real talk. You ain't never known me to cap, right? 2021, because I doubt Bill's gonna invite them over for Christmas. Seriously, I doubt that he's gonna invite them over for Christmas because Bill too smart for that. He a genius, man. He's been in the game for a long time. He's not gonna invite him over for dinner. So just exclude this year. Fuck that. Exclude 20. But 2021, you got 365 days potentially, including Saturdays and Sundays on the weekend. What will set it off the right way? And this is World Combat Sports bringing you the exclusive. If it goes down, let's see if a picture can be produced with Mr. Bummy at the table with the family, with H at one end, Devin on the other end, and whoever else in between, breaking bread. You know what I'm saying? Let's see it. Seriously, let's see it happen. That's all I got to say, man. I'm not spending no more time on this cat because I know it ain't going to happen. I just put it out there because when Bill told me he did that, because I asked him, I had every right to ask him, like, have you even got an interview in person with this dude? Would you know what to do and say if you saw him in person? So, oh, hang me. Come on, bro. The first thing you saying, we clout chasing Devin Haney, but you cock chasing. You cock chasing every time you turn on. Look, you don't even feel right about yourself unless you goddamn do what? Unless you talk about it. You cock chasing, dog. You're a cockologist. Not all y'all over there, but you're a cockologist. Look it up. You'll find it. It'll be on the WCS Webster edition 264.3 addendum 8. You will find cockologists in there, and you will find a list of cock chasers when it comes to this boxing game who only talk on one fighter. Don't stay out and tell you. But once again, out the door, people, I gotta let you know, out the door, when it comes down to this media shit, and you yelling and screaming one name, just somebody just drop that in there. When you see them breaking bread, you got a tall glass of red wine, some of the best wine, because I know they only drink the best. I want to see you drinking that good, that aged wine. Some cheese and look, cheese, grapes, and crackers, some of the best there is. Until I see that picture, you're not a team. You're not a team. You're a cheerleading squad. I know it hurts you to hear that, but you're not a team. All right? Appreciate everybody for pulling up. See, Milo, see what you did? But it's all good. Team Williams Jr. in the building. Hey, stop acting like you don't know, because you know. You pretending, you perpetrating. And what we call that in the South is being a fraud. You know who he is. Stop acting like you want to call him out his name. We did all that. We know your real name. We know your real name, and your primary players is over there. It doesn't take nothing but a heartbeat. We know everything we need to know. Y'all take it easy over there. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports.
What up? It's your boy Roy Jones Jr. and right now you tune in to World Combat Sports.